Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. Welcome, everybody. And we did it on time today. No problems.
Quite proud of us. If the stream looks a little wonky tonight, we were just notified that StreamYard, the software we use, high traffic. They're working on it.
Maybe it's just like so much excitement for tonight's live stream.
I think it's probably all Bourbon Van.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine it could be anything else.
Again, who else is doing anything at any point in the world on the internet right now? It's got to be the Bourbon Van only.
I think Whiskey Rose doing one tonight as well.
Shh. All right. Welcome to Julie's birthday stream, everyone. It is so great to see people here already. All of you, every single one of you.
Everybody, of course.
We are so thrilled that you're here. Look at Kathy Huey was here an hour early.
I know.
I just want to call out the dedication to pre-gaming. My guess is that she had a couple of cocktails.
I hope so.
Getting ready for tonight, and I respect it. I think it's important to do. Melissa in the house, great to see you. Russ D. Mavis in the house, speaking of who's in the house, and she is ready to party tonight.
She's ready to party. She wants to say hi to everybody. She's singing the song over people.
She
already.
does. She's a very noisy baby. Wow, she's stomping me. Yeah. She didn't want anything to do with us until we sat right here.
This seems to be a theme.
Yeah.
Normally it's just I'm sleeping, I'm sitting on the chair doing business stuff. But as soon as we get into
this is Cat.
And if you didn't realize, we're back in the tasting station.
Ta-da.
Even though on Monday we weren't in the tasting station.
Do you know how you can tell?
How?
My shirt matches the wall.
Oh.
I just realized it.
Perfect.
So we are back, even though the Southwest tour series continues. It's not over yet because we didn't. You can't just leave us in Tucson. We got to get home. So keep on watching those videos, and there's some fun stuff yet to come, I guarantee. More hellos. Rusty, cheers. Ruby Hart, great to see you. Eric C. DK Tucker in the house. Rob says we already have 3 likes before we start.
Oh.
I mean, we're likable. You know, that thumbnail, you look at it and you go, I want to celebrate that.
Yeah, I want to give that a thumbs up.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Mr. Zitro, thank you very much. Cheers. Teresa's in the house. Great to see you. Mark Warner, thank you. Caitlin Bartlemay, ladies and gentlemen, how exciting
the one
is
and
that?
Only.
Caitlin came through Bend recently. By the way, for those of you that don't know, the new master distiller at Cleary Creek Distillery and Hood River Distillery. I'm not sure what the hierarchy is. All we know is that she's awesome and it's very well deserved, and we cannot wait to see what comes out of all that. She's so talented. I'm so excited for that.
I am so excited, so proud of her, and she deserves every moment.
Yeah, whatever comes her way, as long as it's good.
She's an awesome person. We did just have brunch the
little brunch.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I loved it.
Just walking through town, going to brunch, it felt very cosmopolitan.
It did feel very cosmopolitan. Out of the van.
Yeah. Bill joins in the house tonight. I see you. Wait. Kathy says, nice haircut. I just want to take a second, give a shout out to Jordan at Head Over Wheels.
Yes.
Really
Bill goes
appreciate
from
the trim.
a van to an Airstream for haircuts.
Yeah, a guy that lives in a van should go to an RV to get his haircut. That just seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Check it out. The best avatar in the game, Jeff Perkins.
I know.
He always dresses up for our live streams.
Always.
That's
100%.
real time. That photo is real time. He looks great.
If we looked back at our live streams, have we clicked on his avatar every time? I think it was at the beginning, probably back in 2020.
It's been a minute. By the way, I don't just have a mustache. This camera is just smoothing out the rest of the hair. So anybody that's watching this, what is Phil doing?
You do look a little babyish.
Most of this is gray, so it doesn't get picked up by the camera now.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm aging like crazy. Julie has not aged at all yet.
Even
though it's her birthday tomorrow.
Yeah. And technically I'm older than you.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's tough on a
On a
men
younger.
have it so tough.
Oh,
Life is so
tough.
hard.
Yeah. Always going for that older woman.
Right. Well, speaking of
Yeah.
well dressed, Jeff, dressed up for us tonight. I'm wearing a collared shirt. It's your birthday. I wanted to class it up a little bit. Did I do a good job?
Yeah. What about the t-shirt underneath? We don't have to.
It's not so classy.
Less classy. So it's a little bit of both. You got a little class and a little.
I like
down home.
It's a message worth stating.
Totally.
When you're on popular trails, leave your Bluetooth speaker at home.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Our friend Deb came up with that. We immediately made it into a t-shirt. This was even before the channel when we just started stealing all this stuff that you guys say to us randomly. And
does Deb have a trail name? Does she have a nickname?
I do not know.
Deb, if you're watching, let us know what your trail name is.
Yeah.
Stacy, great to see you. Fantastic. Nice haircut, Phil. A couple of those in there.
I know.
Appreciate it. Obviously, nobody really enjoyed the haircut that I had. By the way, let me get the banner going. This is important. We're doing super chats tonight. $5 gets you an opportunity to have your name called to win our latest single barrel, the Whiskey Delbach single barrel. It's right here. This is the only one we've got. We know that people have been ordering it. It's been showing up for them. They have very nice, fancy bottles out there.
I know.
We have this.
I was gonna say if you can, actually, I have no idea. You can add a photo to the chat. If you have your bottle, put it in the chat. Only because
I don't think you can put it. I don't think you can chat that way on this.
You can't just
you can't
upload
do an
image.
This is the first time Julie's ever been on YouTube. Everybody.
Well, I've been on chats before.
Do this. Share it on Instagram, tag us, and we'll share it.
Okay.
You want to get really, really famous? We get about 30 to 40 likes per Instagram post.
Per Instagram.
You won't believe the traffic coming your way.
Yeah.
Bill joins. Great to see you. Russ says high traffic for Julie's B-Day. It absolutely is.
High traffic.
Yeah. Eric Gunderson. Everybody, we're getting Gunderstruck.
Gunderstruck.
That's fantastic.
Every Thursday.
21st birthday.
Thank you. It is. I know.
We're just a couple beyond that. She's been drinking legally on the channel.
Since 2020, right?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Marty is in the house. By the way, we may have something special cooking up with Marty from Whiskey Knows.
Yep.
We will know more next week.
Yeah.
We'll keep you posted on Patreon as soon as we know more. But hopefully it comes soon. And we'll be able to share it. Thank you very much. Chuck says happy birthday, Julie.
Thank you guys. You're so sweet.
Frank D. What a gentleman right there. Happy birthday. Green Angelo. And look at all the people. Prescription Bourbon. Everybody's in the house for your birthday.
I love it. That's so nice.
Before we go further, because we have a lot further to go.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a cocktail with me?
Well, yes, I already poured mine. I don't know if you knew that before we started. I said, "What would you like to drink?" And then you didn't say anything, so I just poured myself a drink.
I was reading about the technical difficulties that our streaming software was having. I didn't have time. Shoot.
When we've been on the road, I picked the thing that I wanted to drink the most. So when we were on the road, we had very few bottles with us. We just picked things. I think we brought like one to start and then picked up stuff as we were going.
Sure.
But the one thing that we didn't have and that I kind of missed was our Bull Run pick. And so that is what I am going to start my birthday stream with.
I think it's a great idea. I salute you for that. I'm going to reach behind you here for a bottle that I've just recently found and been enjoying.
Yep.
This is a Westland from Seattle.
Wait, is this the one we found?
No, that one's not open yet because I promised Anna from Westland that we would open that one when she comes to Bend next.
Oh, perfect.
It might not happen. I might open it before that happens, but I thought it would be a nice gesture.
I'm not sure if do we have a bottle around?
Yeah, it's right. It's right there. It's right behind this one.
Oh, because I was gonna say we just lucked upon it.
Yeah, it's right there.
Well, I know that it was right there, but oof. So we lucked upon this, if I'm not mistaken, in Reno, which if you don't go whiskey hunting in Reno, I don't know. It feels like they always have good stuff there.
Here's one thing.
The one that we did.
Here's one thing we know about Reno. They know us there. We've never gone to Reno and not been recognized. I think Reno might be the city that follows the bourbon van the closest.
Yeah.
And we have to appreciate that. We thank you. If you're from Reno, give us a shout tonight. Let us know.
And the guy we met was actually from like right outside of Yosemite because I remember him saying the town. And I remember driving through it at some point.
Yeah. He'd driven like 200 miles to go to the liquor store.
200 at least.
Just not just to see us, but he did see us.
Yeah.
This is cast number 5699. This is their 5 malt blend finished in tequila casks. I've been loving this. If you see this out and about, I know that they have some of this at Trailhead Liquor right here in Bend, Oregon. So
yeah. Oh, I'm putting it back.
If that's all right.
Yes, that's fine. That's perfect. But I was going to say about Reno and the Westland picked is that Phil found it tucked away behind a bunch of bottles. There was dust all over it.
It was dusty. There was only one on the shelf, and they were selling it for like $55.
Yeah, and
they're usually closer to $100.
He just like kind of moved things out of the way and was like, "Why is this sitting here?" Snatched it up.
I messaged a friend at Westland, and I said, "What do you know about this bottle?" And she said, "It's a pale malt, finished in I don't remember. I think I might have written it somewhere. Doesn't matter though. She was excited about it, which made me excited about it. So we got it.
Yeah. And she's like, "Where did you find that?" Basically, like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Old label. Very surprising. Jim Bandy wishing Julie a happy birthday. Jim Bandy using third person, which I like.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that too.
I picture that in a radio voice too. Jim Bandy wishing Julie a very happy birthday.
I like the radio voice. It's great.
You let it trail off at the end.
Yes.
Just long enough for the music to kick in if you're on the radio.
I don't think I'd have a very good, I don't think I have a very good YouTube voice either, but a radio voice. But I feel like nobody likes their own voice. Mine's just particularly squeaky.
The only time I like my voice is when I'm talking about Paul from Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Oh, yes.
That's the only,
wonderful.
The rest of the time I could care less.
Yeah.
Kathy says she did pregame after working in the yard all day.
You can't work in the yard without some sort of
a
drink.
little something. Come on.
At least a beer, if not a gin and tonic. I don't know.
Beach Coke is in the house.
Beach Coke!
Brad Mason in the house from Tucson, Arizona.
Yes.
Boy, a lot of people in here. Katie Two Cats in the house. Sugar Kitty. Yeah, Sugar Kitty showed up when Mavis showed up. Right on time.
Right on time. I know. Gunderstruck
having a birthday soon as well. Also a happy birthday. I don't know if they're on yet, but Bill and Wendy Becker both celebrating birthdays this month.
In May, yes.
In addition, matter of fact, Bill's birthday this weekend, I believe.
So I think it's the 18th, Saturday. Yes, that would be this weekend.
Speaking of celebrations and the number 18, we celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary earlier this month. And our friend Joe, driver Joe, he and his wife not only share a wedding date with us, the same, in May.
Yeah.
They were married on the exact same date in the same year. How wild is that? Yes.
How did I? Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm actually like.
It makes you think. I don't know what about.
Something. Yeah. Small world. Maybe it makes you think small world.
Yeah, let's say small world.
There's also like a ton of birthdays right around this on Whiskey Tube, because I think I'm not 100%, but I think it's Jamie from Whiskey Row's birthday today.
Yeah,
actually. So she's actually doing
happy birthday, Jamie.
Mine's not till tomorrow, but that's okay. And then
tomorrow is also Chad from Bourbon Night.
Yeah.
And even though they've never once returned my calls, I just want to say happy birthday to Chad. I don't hold it against you. It's nothing personal.
When have you called? There's no way that you've called them.
I've messaged them. I've invited them to collab on occasion.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I think. Kim F in the house. Great to see you.
Am I allowed to drink this? We haven't cheersed yet.
Can we please?
Yeah. Guys, thanks so much for showing up today. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
And tell us what you're drinking, by the way. That's what I always want to know. Or if you have any weird questions. Well, not weird. Let's keep them normal. Normal questions for this old gal now.
Old gal.
I'm like when you're really
about to
young.
go out to pasture? Are you leaving?
When you're young, you get you turn 20 and you're like, oh man, I've got like 3/4 of my life left. Like technically I could live
I thought maybe
40,
half,
60,
maybe.
80. You can now we're getting to that point where it's like you're at 50% if you're good. Like if you're gonna live long enough.
Yeah. Well, technology and good whiskey will keep you alive longer than you probably should stay alive. So
totally,
I'd say you've probably got a good 100, 150 years left. Thank you, Troy and Lisa. Good to see you.
That was a fun avatar too. I like that.
Yeah. Tim and Terry Griffin in the house. Great to see you both.
Hey. Say hey.
I think it's great.
Hey.
See, Katie Two Cats liked the hair as well. We've gotten a lot of messages saying should have kept it. Here's the thing. Looked pretty good with a hat. Without the hat, nightmare.
Yeah. So
pure nightmare. Nothing to see here.
I remember when it was getting to that stage.
Yeah.
Well, and as a backup, at one point during the trip, you did trim it, unbeknownst to me, around your ears.
Yeah, I did that
so
once.
then as it started growing,
because you had to like do something. Otherwise, I was like, okay, I'm starting to look like a very young old man.
Yeah.
Like I had a little boy haircut on an old man face and it wasn't working.
But with the hat, it looked really good. And people, I remember you posted that video on Patreon with the haircut. And there was a little
time lapse. Time lapse. Yeah.
A little sadness. Anyway.
Chris says, happy birthday to my fellow Bendite. How about that?
Yes.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Chris. Loving that avatar too. I'm just going to click on it because I like to look at it.
Oh, that's nice. It's a duck.
Elvis says Oregon duck.
To be the Oregon, yes.
Good stuff. Man, look at all the lovely friends in here tonight. This is so fantastic. Rob says he likes the kitty. And that's very nice.
She is pretty.
Mavis is gorgeous. Most of the channel these days is just glamour shots of the cat.
I only want
Julie wants to shut it down and just do a Mavis glamour shots channel. I'm honestly for it. I think it's a good idea.
Quite photogenic, which is crazy. And I love taking pictures of her. I love having her on video. She poses. She's very pouty, so she's very frowny and but she has a lot to express. She's unhappy with us a lot of the time.
A lot of attitude.
Yeah. A lot of young attitude.
Sugar Kitty says that for anti-aging, I highly recommend a picture in the basement closet. That's the Dorian Gray approach, and maybe that works. Go for it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Kurt the cat. Happy birthday, Julie. From all the cats in Chicago. Every single one of them.
I love it. Look at that little face.
Look at that face.
Mavis is going to have that same white muzzle when she gets older, because she already has quite a white muzzle now. And I just keep thinking as she gets older, it's just going to keep spreading. It's like an old pup that gets little gray hairs.
It only makes them more endearing.
I love them.
Because I have to say that because in a couple years, I'll be the old pup that's hopefully more endearing with all that white muzzle.
With all that white.
It's on the way.
Well, thank you, Kurt the cat.
Yeah, you are in, sir. Don't get me wrong. Your long lock suited the road. Yeah, I think it worked on the road. But once I got home, I was like,
even your barber was like, so you didn't think about getting a haircut while you were gone?
I did. I tried to line one up in Tucson, but the place was like, we're doing reservations for 3 months out right now. And I was like, what are you talking? What? For a barbershop?
I know. And we could have just gone to a sports
said, you know what?
clips.
I'll save it for the RV.
Yeah.
No problem. Airstream.
The Airstream. I was like, wait, am I learning how to do that? But
Johnny 5 in here. You're getting a cheers from a robot from the 1980s, one of your favorite movies as a child.
I loved that movie as a kid.
Second only, I believe, to the Goonies.
Love the Goonies. Yeah. Also,
29 and holding. Yeah, exactly.
I don't care about getting older. I'm one of those people that I'm not upset about it.
No, I mean, do
I wish that I was still, I don't know. Probably not. I don't want to be there's too much pressure in
every day is an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, I don't need to do that
either.
Or
to have a lot of things like drinks and things.
Yeah.
Or to eat something good.
It's a good stage right now.
Yeah.
Got a stable job.
Yeah.
Got great friends.
Yeah.
A good whiskey collection.
I'm wondering
a van outside and a cat. What more could you want?
I keep saying on the cusp of trading in for a better husband.
Yeah. It's like, got you.
On the cusp of trading my husband out for several more cats. I am looking forward to the crazy cat lady phase of your life because I think that's going to be really fun.
At some point when we're not going to be having the van or whatever we're doing, I could up one cat. Not in this van.
Mavis would like it.
Yeah. I could have one cat. But I feel like, I could be that 85-year-old lady who's got 6 or 7 cats and I'm just surrounded and snuggling.
6 or 7 cats in every room, I would guess.
Well, that's a lot of cleanup. And you do all the litter box stuff. So that would be a huge transition for me.
Oh, that's true. Mark says that he just popped the Whiskey Del Bach cork from our single barrel. Excited to dive in. I just want to read something because we posted about it on Instagram today. Yes. I believe it was the first time we posted.
And let's talk about the Whiskey Del Bach pick. So we obviously picked it when we were in Tucson. We went down there. Great facility. Great people. We had so much fun.
Wonderful.
We were only planning to be there for a few hours. We're there for a few hours. Then came back the next day for a few hours. And then came back on our way back for a few hours.
So I just want to give you a quick comment, the first comment that came through after we posted this today of Julie with Two Row the Cat, Gato del Bac.
Looks a lot like Mavis. There's a lot of Mavis coloring out there.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Kurt from SLB Drinks
had
this to say about it. You all have to get this bottle. Mine just arrived and it's absolutely incredible. Well done, Phil and Julie. Clapping emoji, whiskey emoji. If Kurt likes it, you know it's good.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped. That is, there are so many things that can go right or go wrong with these single barrels.
Yeah.
That's about the most right thing that could have possibly happened, to have Kurt's endorsement.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Very happy. I know it's
We're
pricey.
very picky with the things that we choose, and they're not always crowd pleasers. So I'm happy. Yeah.
We try to shine a light on smaller distilleries you may not have heard of.
Yeah.
And they're kind of on the fringe. There's not a ton of distilleries.
Like this Bull Run. I mean, everyone's heard of Bull Run, but like I remember when we first started talking about it, and then we did the pick. We didn't know if people would go for it. Well, and then it ended up being a slam dunk, and everyone did. So,
in the case of Whiskey Del Bac, it has to be shipped from the Southwest.
Yeah,
Sherrod Bohr is not going down there to get any other product. There's not really any other distilleries over there. So it's unfortunately the shipping things add up. So it's not the cheapest bottle, but we're really, really proud of this bottle, and we think it's worth it. And if you get it, thank you. And if you've gotten it, thank you.
Yeah.
We hope you like it as much as we did. We think it's a very, very special bottle.
And we were hoping to cork pop that baby today. It didn't show up on time because obviously it went from here all the way back, and then it has to come all the way back.
So we're gonna do a cap
we have a
screw.
little bit left, so hopefully it matches up. I know. I don't know. I'm excited about this one. Great flavors. It's more of an intro to single malts because it's not what you wouldn't like think of like single malts being heavily smoked or anything like that. Like we picked a gentle one.
It's a ton of flavor with a moderate amount of mesquite smoke. And if all you know of mesquite smoke is what was the one from Wild Turkey? Something House.
She's a Brit.
No. The Matthew McConaughey bottle. I don't know why the name's escaping me right now. I'm for shame.
Yeah.
Long Branch. If that's all you know of mesquite, this is not that.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend this one.
And it actually turned out to be the perfect pick for us because if you've been following along on our road trip, our Southwest road trip videos, it's basically all we drank during the entire. We joked about turning into the single malt van. I mean, every time we went somewhere, it was was the thing that
it's not over yet.
I know that had caused excitement, and at some point we're like, we gotta drink some bourbon.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. You are in, sir. EJ's in the house. Oh, okay. Great to see you. And Bob Glass in the house. Great to see you. Thank you so much, Brad. You are in for tonight. And thank you so much to also Kathy Huey.
Thank you.
That's a nice sentiment right there. Everybody have a great weekend. For Kathy. Do it for Kathy.
For Kathy.
If your weekend's not going well, say, I'll do it for Kathy.
Yeah. I'm excited. We're doing happy hour tomorrow, which will be nice. Having dinner.
Yeah.
And then a lot of running because that's what we do these days. But
right.
I'm like,
we should do a running update too.
Well, we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your drink, by the way? Because my Bull Run is delicious.
It's delightful. This Westland is fantastic. Casey Kasem. I used to be able to do a Casey Kasem, but I haven't done it in about 20 years.
I need to hear. Well, I can't do.
With the long
I can't even say
dedication, I can't do it anymore. I think I lost it. It.
I'd have to listen to it in order to. Yeah. Anyway. So. I digress.
Katie, you are in. Yeah, Katie's birthday coming right up. Happy birthday to you as
Yay,
well.
Happy birthday! Got those cats.
Look at there you go. I don't want to dwell too much on it because I don't want it to be a commercial tonight, but that's he said it better than we said it.
Well, it is something. I mean, think about people and scotches, right? People who love scotches, and then there's people that kind of dabble but don't really want to drink it all that much. And then there's people that
whiskey dabbler.
Yeah, and then there's people that are just
and I'm a Scotch whiskey dabbler.
Yeah, totally against it. And so I wanted to the single malt thing is kind of like that, where you're just just dip a toe, and if I'm telling you it's delicious, then it's not super smoky and
that's true.
Control.
Yeah. The fact that both of us chose that over
I knew it right
4
away.
other samples, that one of them was very smoky, although we liked that one too.
Yeah.
The other 3 had no smoke, and we liked those as well. This one was the Goldilocks, and it was an easy decision ultimately.
Yeah, we do pick with you guys in mind, like who wants to drink it. But I remember going through the lineup and I was like, oh yeah, this one's good. And then I drank that one. I thought, oh, I didn't even need to taste anything else. I was like, this is the one that
it was the one.
do.
Yeah. You said when you know, you know.
When you know, you know. And we knew. So hopefully you know.
So hopefully you know as well. Yeah. Jeff wants to know, what is your top shelf birthday pour tonight? I actually think you're on it right now, but anything else that you're into?
You know what's funny is that we have a couple things, because we've been gone, we have a couple of things that we wanted to kind of taste through. A few things that we've received and samples that have been given to us. So I didn't really think about that, but for a second last night, after we talked about what we were going to drink on the live stream, I thought, if I had my pour, which is not going to be a surprise because I poured this last year, my favorite is still Michter's Barrel Strength Rye. I love it.
Well, we just happen to have some of that.
Well, I know we have it, but I'm just saying, and it's such a bougie thing to drink.
Great. It's great
because you can't get it, and we've gotten really lucky. We've told the story a million times about how we kind of just lucked upon it in Seattle, and then we found a bottle. I think it was here,
fairly local. It was in Oregon, but it wasn't
in Oregon. But that is probably my birthday pour.
I think that's great. It's a solid whiskey. Yeah. No, undeniably tasty.
Good question. I can answer that one. It's the questions where you're like, give me your top 5 that I struggle with.
Kathy's going to pour some short barrel toasted bourbon. No idea what that is. Is that local? Is that sourced? Is it, what is it? I want to know more.
I like toast. I do like toasted
I'm
bourbons.
not familiar with that brand at all.
Can we talk? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Chuck is he's a new patron. How about that? Thank you very much, Chuck.
I'm pointing at the avatar.
I'm so distracted by the avatar. I'm stumbling over my words here. Thank you very much. You are in for tonight. And a Westward cask strength.
So cute.
I have a Westward.
That's what you're drinking.
No, Westland. Westward from Portland. We received something very special from them, incredibly nice. And we opened it this past week at the Redwoods and took some fantastic footage of it. It actually looked amazing in the forest.
Yeah.
Very excited to share that. We will in the near future.
And
I can tell you the nose on that one is maybe the best whiskey nose I've ever smelled.
It was incredible. I remember cork popping it thinking, I could smell it, like when you pop, and then it just like the aroma comes out. Yeah. I was like, ooh, I hope it tastes as good as it smells.
Yeah, spoiler alert, it's delicious. It's their new club pick, the Vintner's Cuvée, I believe.
Yeah. Very special. Right. It came in a beautiful package too. You know me, I love like the whole pomp and circumstances about bourbon. Like when you get something like either the bottle's really spectacular.
Oh yeah, that one's really nice. Apparently that was just for the media kit. Everybody else get one.
I'm sure.
Which is a bummer because I thought like, wow, what a presentation. I was excited to show it off. And then our friend Demi Tastes on Instagram said he got one too. And he was like, isn't this box great? I wish they'd do that for everybody, not just for us. And I was like, oh, okay. I see. He knows a lot more than I do.
Everybody knows more than we do.
Cheers to Don from Seaside, Oregon. Good to see you tonight.
Nice, Seaside. Love it.
Mavis needs her own channel. She has her own Instagram channel.
I know.
Mavis Adventure Cat. Is that what it is?
I'm just so bad at social media. And Mavis Adventure Cat. And I'm so bad at social media. I have like literally, we've only had her for a year and change. And I probably have like a million photos of her, but yet there's only like 7, there's like 20 posts, but.
A lot of folks impressed that I cracked the top 5 of your things that are most important to you.
Oh,
I think I was 6th, but it's all right. Rob sipping an Evan Williams 1783 for your birthday, and that is very appropriate. Boy, we love that bourbon. Here he is. Look at that. Kurt in the house.
Hey!
See, there you go. That's the kind of endorsement that it just puts a smile on your face.
I know.
Look at you. Look at how big you're smiling.
Well, it's so nice that you're here. I don't know.
Biggest smile I've seen all day. And I've been trying, crack a joke here.
I got birthday treats at work today.
Did you really?
Bagels. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
I had an everything bagel. So if it's extra garlicky and oniony in the house today, that's why.
I was just wondering earlier, why is it the smell of everything in here?
Totally. I was actually eating it thinking like, this is not going to bode well for the rest of the day.
Cheers, Kevin. Good to see you. How is training at home going? This is a great question. So we went out this past weekend because Julie's 50K training, she has, what do we got? 3.5 weeks until your race? 2.5 weeks?
On my app, training app or whatever, it says 3W, which means less than 3 weeks. Which,
my goodness,
usually it's like 8. Then I got 5, and 5 seems like a substantial amount of time. But then I realized that it just said 3, and I was like, 3 seems like
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be coming fast. Yeah.
Well, this weekend, my 100-mile training started in earnest, and it's amazing how close our training is to one another.
Like, I know.
The beginning of mine is actually lining up perfectly with the tail end of yours mine. So far.
I was joking.
So we went out for 20 miles. We played hooky on Monday.
I took the day off where I didn't play hooky. I strategically wanted to have fun with our friends because we were in the Redwoods over the weekend.
Yeah.
And we had planned that like 9 months ago or something like that, 9 or 10 months ago. And so I strategically took Monday off because I knew being out of the office for 4 hours is a little bit different than being out of the office for like an hour and a half run. Like that's a whole day. So I was like, and I'm not going to want to work afterwards. Right. And, you know,
so we had a nice 4-hour, we did 5 loops at the hindsight course for those of you that have watched us run the hindsight loop on the other channel.
If you didn't know what that one is, Phil's run it twice. We recorded it,
I think just
2022.
And then we did some practice laps on it.
Yeah, it's a 5-mile loop, and every loop you have to do a drink of your choice. So whether it's a whole beer. We didn't
do that on Monday.
No, not on Monday. No. But like a beer, or Phil did whiskey, of course. And to me, that's the no-brainer choice. Like, I don't know why you want to chug 12 ounces of seltzer or beer, but
yeah, there's a 16-ounce category too.
Yeah, we're not doing that either.
Yeah. But training is going well.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I'm going to share a quick anecdote because I'm especially proud of it.
I love it.
44 years old today. Well, not today, but I am currently 44 years old. Ran my second fastest 4-mile run ever today.
That's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
How about that? Fastest since 2015.
Yep.
Going backwards. I'm actually getting younger, even though the face doesn't reflect it. The rest of me does.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like a weird Benjamin Button where my head is adult. The rest of me is going to be just a baby body.
I think that is what Benjamin Button is, isn't it?
Oh, really? I actually never saw it.
Isn't he like old? Like he's an old man and then he becomes I don't know if I ever watched it, to be honest, but I think you end up being a baby.
With a human, with an adult head?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it. But that's what I'm picturing. Or maybe it's just an SNL skit.
All right. Well, somebody tell us what in the world happened in that movie. Because, spoiler alert, if you want to know what happens, stay on. If you don't want to know,
wait, stay on for 40 years?
Just keep watching.
So what I want to... Hey, thanks, Eric. We see the dawn. See, this I have to read out loud.
Yeah, I can see your lips moving.
What I was going to say about the running is that I was talking to my friend Deb over the weekend, and she's training for a 30K this summer. And I was saying how she asked me how training was going. And I said, because I started training back in October, after all these months, I thought things would be easier. But I realized the first 2.5 miles of any run just sucks. Like, I just hate it. Like, you're out there and it's not easy. And I think your muscles are probably like, what are you doing? And whatever. And I go, for people who are trying to get into running, and like most people run a 5K, so 3 miles. And I go, if 2.5 miles of the 3 miles is awful, no wonder people don't run.
Right. I mean, that's a question that people have asked me for a lot of times. And I'm no coach, but people ask. And they go, I run 2 to 3 miles every time I go out. It always feels miserable. When does it get better? And I say, it's when you run further, because that 2 to 3 miles is just the breaking in every single time. And then it gets a little bit better and easier. And once you start running longer, then, your first 20 miler this year, you were not happy at all. Now your 20 milers you're comfortable with, you're running fast at the end. You're kind of crushing it.
I'll be honest, 10 miles is like my jam. I think I could just be like a 10-mile runner and be okay with that. Because less is just hard. Like, you have a lot of like I hate running moments.
Yeah.
And then more, you really got to dig deep. And
I wonder if
10
we should
miles
do
feels like normal.
A Bourbon Van virtual run.
Sure.
We managed one of those before. It was fun.
Yeah.
We'll think about it.
We like giving away glasses and stuff. Medals. All right, I got to pour something else.
Okay, let's do that.
This is a clean glass.
Hey, Wendell Wilson in the house. Watching us in his truck Wi-Fi. That's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. I'm going to have a little bit of this Del Bach because we just talked about it. Probably shouldn't because it's a single. Let's share this one.
Yeah, there's not much in there.
Yeah.
Hey, Canadian Chris is in the house.
Hello.
Loved the 1792 video short. That was probably the most fun thing I've ever had the pleasure of editing. Even though recording it in the moment, I was like, what is happening to her? But it was fun. Ultimately, it was a good time.
Oh, is that the blooper one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was literally like a 10-minute blooper that I had to condense down to turn it into a short for YouTube.
What was funny about that is there was, I can't remember who made the comment, who sent us thing like, oh, I thought you guys just kind of did it. And normally when I do cork pops, it is one take.
Yeah.
Like I don't normally have, I'm like, what are we saying? What's the bottle? What's the proof? And I try to like think about it, and then we record, boop, pop it, and we're good. But for some reason, I was just trying to get a lot of information.
Right.
And then it was late in the day. The cat was nuts.
I was like, why are you talking so much about the store?
Yeah, I don't know. It was really funny. When I watched it, I was crying.
It was good times.
Yeah.
Bob Nichols wants to know, are you going to post some videos of the race? Absolutely. There will be probably a shorter video on this channel, on the Bourbon Van, and then on the Bourbon Van Travels channel, probably an extended version. It all depends how much footage I can get, because it's the race itself. It's
a little bit tricky for people to watch.
Hard to get in and out of, and they don't do pacers, so I can't like show up at mile 15 and run with her or something like that. So I can pop in and out of the forest and hope to catch up with her, but there's no like cell phone coverage there, and I can't use Starlink or anything like that because the forest is so dense. I honestly have no idea how much I'll see you. You get bused,
I'd say I would carry a camera, but I'm just trying to finish versus like
you get bused to the start finish line, so I won't be with you there.
Yeah.
Well, to the starting line, and then the finish line you get bused again to go to the party afterwards.
Yeah.
You're gonna run right through our campsite, so I'll definitely see you once.
Well, and I've been encouraging Phil to like maybe we should take our bikes with, because it's a real. I mean,
I don't really want to run. I don't really want to ride 30 miles on my bike.
No, I'm not saying, but there are like touch points along the way. Isn't that crazy? Does it smell like bananas?
It smells obscene. It smells so good. Look at how it coats the glass. That's beautiful whiskey. So yeah, there will be some footage of that. There'll definitely be footage of Julie's 50K. There will be footage probably of the Santa Rosa. I'm running the marathon. What are you running, the half?
Marathon.
You are running the marathon too?
Yeah.
That's right. So there will be footage of that, because we'll probably run it together, I would think. Should we wear costumes?
Another time where I am just glad to finish and get that wine at the end. We get a bottle of wine at the end. I think you get it no matter what, but
you actually run through a vineyard barrel room.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. That'll be fun.
Are all our things are either places I want to visit or things I want to drink. Like, I feel like we signed up for this specifically because we're like, ooh, instead of a medal, which I think we actually do get a medal, you get a bottle of wine from Santa Rosa, like a vineyard in Santa Rosa. I was like, perfect, let's sign up.
They actually have really good giveaways. Like you get a bottle, you get a medal, you get there's like a jacket that you get, or a long sleeve shirt or something. I don't know. Yeah. Good gear, Kim F is celebrating your birthday with a delicious pour of Bull Run, and we do not blame you for that.
No, for sure, definitely not.
Did we get caught up? I think we got caught up. Or maybe everybody left because we were so far behind.
That's not true.
Teresa is expanding her palate with an Isle Sky 18-year.
Wow.
Beautiful. Well, that just sounds delicious. It sounds like fun to me.
So I feel like we've discussed this again, but the age statements for something like that is different than like bourbon age statements. Most of them, 18 years doesn't mean it's like.
Well, it's not. It's 18 years age generally in other things. They're not aging in new charred white oak barrels.
Ah, okay.
It's falling down. Fix it. I did it. But yeah, it's sorry, I don't know what I don't know. You got me all distracted here.
Sorry.
Well, anyways, this whiskey is the Del Bach. We only had a little splash of it left, and it was very tasty.
I already drank most of it. Yeah. I know. I'm sad that we're not going to have it to actually cork pop tonight.
That's remarkable. Highly recommend, by the way, that you pour some and do like a half an ice cube with it, or just a couple of drops of water. Yeah. Let it open up a little bit, because this is one that really changed all the way down in our tasting. We tried it a couple of different ways. Every time we tried it, it was totally different.
Yeah, I love it. I drank that already.
Yeah, that was too good. Well, the next things that we're going to do are bottles that were sent to us, samples that were sent to us.
Yes.
And because it's Julie's birthday, we're drinking rye.
What's up next? I forget. Oh, no, I didn't forget. So, what I want this is actually kind of a funny story. I'm just going through all the things.
Yeah, cleanse the palate, drink some water. We're going all night, so you got to hydrate.
Yeah. Our friends is still Austin. That's where I'm going next. Our friends is still Austin.
Yes.
They had, before we ever left on the trip in January, they had told us that they were going to send us their bottled and bond rye.
Yes.
And then I'm not sure if we said we were going to be home or if we just didn't communicate. But anyway, so
they usually reach out and say, "Hey, we're sending this thing. It'll be there on this time."
Yeah.
I didn't get the reach out message until it was already sent this time.
I know. And so we were like anticipating. We knew it was like getting delivered, anticipated. And so we got the package, was brought in, and we've been waiting to taste it for like 4 months, basically 4.5, 5 months. That's been sitting here that we haven't been able to drink it. So we took it with on our camping trip over the weekend, and we cork popped it because we were like, we want to try it, get some air in here, and we'll have our friends taste it with us.
That's been open for 4.5 days total.
Yeah, we did some damage. So, long story short, people liked it. And these are people that like bourbon, but not like bourbon like we like bourbon.
Not like us, yeah.
And so kudos to Still Austin for making a good product.
Very well liked by everyone involved. So this is Still Austin straight rye bourbon whiskey. This is part of their bottled and bond seasonal program. And this is the first rye in the program. Straight rye bourbon whiskey, mash bill, 100% Texas rye, 100 proof, of course, because bottled and bond. Minimum age 4 years, and I don't believe it was aged longer than that. For this spring release, represented by the Rabbit, sure it is, we use the bright spice of 100% Texas grown rye to conjure feelings of new beginnings, bold ideas, and fresh perspectives. This is the taste of spring in all its glory. I love that it's 100% rye. I think that's fantastic. And they've got tasting notes here, and we'll get into that. So if we want to give our tasting notes. But there is, wow.
I know, I'm sorry. So this...
It is Julie's birthday.
I was gonna keep it, but you're better at drinking whiskey than I am. Like you could drink more whiskey than I am.
Okay.
We don't have to drink all that. We could put it to the side. But what I was gonna say is that I really need to have some sort of measuring tool.
This is actually heavy to lift. My arm is tired already.
I almost wish we would have put it in the Julie pour glass because we might have actually filled one of the tick marks.
This would have gone to the weekday pour at the very minimum. Well, there you go. Julie pour. Look at the color of this. Quite dark for a rye.
Yeah.
Texas, that's not a huge surprise. Things tend to be very dark when we get them from Texas. Has anybody else noticed that? Or am I crazy? Beautiful color.
So you talked about this already, but Still Austin, bottled and bond, rye whiskey. And there's a cute little bunny on the front.
Look at the bunny.
Love all the animals.
Everybody's dogs are barking at the screen right now.
I feel like when I showed earlier, it was a little bit higher. So we are drinking quite a bit tonight.
Yeah. We need smaller. We need wee Karens. Sugar Kitty's right. We need smaller Glens.
I'm not going into the office tomorrow. So at least I can roll into work day tomorrow.
You might not get out of bed tomorrow. You might be calling me to bring in the coffee and your computer.
Just a little bit of coffee and some, what is that stuff that I like to drink when I'm not feeling great? That liquid hydration stuff. Lemon lime. Oh, whiskey. The lemon lime whiskey.
Richie Z's in the house. Great to see you. Paul in the house as well. Cheers. Yeah, it's a big pour.
You don't have to drink all that. I feel really bad about as I poured it. I just, some people are really good about like the 1,000, 2,000. They must have like the right. I just shut.
I think you're really good at pouring. Regardless, here's the nice thing about this. The smell on this is incredible, and I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
That, yes, this was gifted to us by Still Austin. They have sent us their bottled and bond series, the last 3, I believe.
Yeah.
And they've been fantastic to us, and we're very grateful to them. Somebody's motorcycle just exploded.
It's warm
outside.
today. Everyone's having a great time.
Everybody's out there. Yeah. There have been some that I've liked a lot better than others. I will say that the blue corn
I liked the blue corn.
That blue corn was no, the blue corn was the best one. That's the best one of the bunch, I think.
Yeah.
The high rye, I wasn't a big fan of. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was great. This one, the nose is on par with that blue corn.
Yeah.
I love the richness of it. The rye is huge. And what I love about this is something you don't always get from a rye. It's a ton of vanilla, like a boatload of buttercream frosting. Yeah. It's so nice. And this giant pour Julie gave me only enhances it.
It just, the pour helps with the aroma and making sure you're getting every little thing that you're supposed to get out of it. I mean, when we do these baby pours, like what if you have a bad dishwasher?
Do you know about, those cherry pies? And we haven't had one of these in years. The giant cherries in a cherry pie, the big red bright cherries.
Are you talking about like the ones you used to get in like the cafeteria, or like we baked the cherries?
Baked it, and it's got these huge red cherries in it with that sugary slurry in it. That's on the nose. It's a huge nose here. Again, we're not obligated to say anything about this. We didn't even have to talk about this whiskey.
We just like it. That's why we're drinking it tonight.
And we're drinking it tonight.
Yeah. If Phil would have said like we're drinking that tonight, I'd be like, it's my birthday. I don't want to do it. It's like the one time I could probably pull that off anytime throughout the year, but tonight especially, I can say we're not drinking that one.
Richie, I believe it was, mentioned the red corn. Sugar Kitty said red corn is a great bottle too. We actually saved this on the shelf with the other bottles that we've gotten. This was a Driver Joe 48. This is what he gave us. It was one of the samples from our Advent tournament this year. And we gave a lot of those away, but I kept this one because I wanted to do a full comparison once we had them all.
Speaking of the inventory, you know what's so great about it? Besides that, I always have just like
that it's
the most fun, and you have to do all the editing, and I just
that
get
it's
to have
eminently
all the fun.
Rewatchable because I just watched a couple the other day and I was like, this is fun. I should have watched this when it was actually like on.
It's so much more stressful for you because you do all of the stuff, and I just get to drink all the delicious stuff. But what was so fun about last year is that because we asked our Patreons to give us samples for the blind tasting, we got to try stuff from that we would some of them never heard of, two never could get our hands on, whatever. Yeah. So when we were traveling over the last few months, and obviously we're still in we were in the Southwest, so it's not like being in the Midwest or even the East Coast. Sometimes I think you guys get a lot more selection than we can get out here.
Certainly if you're in
There
Kentucky.
Were things that I was like, oh man, I remember that bottle. Like the Lucky 7, right?
Or
like,
the Hoot and Young.
Or the Hoot and Young, which, you might say like, oh, we've heard of it, but we don't really know, you're doing your research quick to see if you should buy it.
Totally.
There was just things that we saw on the road that were like, can't get it. I remember loving that. I want it.
Yeah. You like it already.
Yeah.
We have to thank everybody for sending us samples for that, because that definitely influenced our purchases when we were on the road for sure.
Yeah. I forgot about it. I was pretty obsessed with it while we were in the van. And then now we came back to the selection.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you.
It doesn't fit on the shelf. We have bottles on the floor right now. We've never had bottles on the floor. We've got them on other shelves. We've got some in the closet.
It's not telling anybody where we live.
We've never had bottles on the floor before. We were overstocked.
So, question for you, because I'm going to throw questions out. You came home.
I'm currently here.
So I remember like 2 weeks out, I said, do you miss being at home? You're like, I kind of miss our whiskey collection. So you walk in, you see it, you start crying, you're like the tears of joy from seeing all your babies on the wall.
Well, you hear the choir in the background.
Yeah. All of a sudden the lights come on. Mm-hmm. What were you most excited to see?
My hair automatically.
Your hair all of a sudden,
like, it was in this. It
cut itself.
It cut itself. I walked in and it was like, this feels great. I can feel the breeze on the back of my head.
Totally.
What was the question?
What were you most excited to see? Because there's
this Bull Run right here. Same as you. This is the most layered, complex whiskey on the shelf. And I fell in love with that whiskey last year, and I didn't bring any along, and I missed it. I legitimately missed it. Other stuff that I missed, it's going to sound crazy because we have a lot of Whiskey Del Bach that we brought back, and we spent some time there. But that Dorado American Single Malt,
you already finished it.
It's gone now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in the recycling bin. And spoiler alert: if we do a recycling bin, what's in our recycling bin? It'll be there.
I loved that 92 proof, just
easy drinking,
easy drinking, super complex though with a lot of smoke. Yeah. Not a lot, but the mesquite smoke is on it. There's fruit notes in it. Of all the American single malts that we tasted on the road, it's still up there near the top of the list for me. I think it's delicious.
Yeah. Nice.
What about you?
Well, I mean, the Bull Run was the one that I wanted only because
you mentioned it a few times.
I mentioned it a few times just because it's so flavorful, so delicious. Really a nice sipper. I don't even remember what the proof is on this.
116.
Oh, it's 116. So it's not a low proof, but it's like that. It's a really.
Is this whiskey making you burp?
It is. It's a really good proof point. I just like it. Doesn't drink at 116, and I think that's why I really liked it too.
Yeah.
But for me, on the road we got that Hoot and Young, which I kind of fell in love with because again, it was only like 90
proof, I believe.
90 proof, super low
Maybe
proof.
92.
It's perfect for camping and all that kind of stuff because you don't want anything crazy. Yes, Rusty, I did miss my 1910. I actually told somebody
it's a great comment.
I told somebody over the weekend that we've got all of these bottles, and I know that 1910 is just like this. It's not polarizing, but it's like everyone says it's beginner's whiskey.
Sure.
I love it. I don't care.
It's beginners because beginners can enjoy it. But if you have an experienced palate, you'll find more on there than you did when you first enjoyed it. I think it's fairly complex for what it is.
But to be honest, like there were simple things that I wanted to buy on the road, but I was like, we can't buy this. Like we got to buy something that we can't get at home. So like Wild Turkey 101 Rye. I was like, every time I went to the liquor store, I would see it on the shelf, and it's hit or miss here. Like sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. And I'm like, Phil, there's the 101 Rye, but we knew that we can get it at home sometimes we can get it home, so we didn't get it.
And I actually took some 101 Rye along in a 4-ounce sample bottle.
Yeah, we drank it like immediately the first day.
It was like the first one. We were like, whoops, should have brought a bottle of that.
Just like little things. So it wasn't like I never missed like the extravagant or the high-end bottles.
Yeah, not so
I'm just
much.
more of a middle of the road drinker, you know.
We like what we like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel I don't know why, but I always feel bad drinking like unless it's like a nice occasion. I started thinking else like last year. I was like, it's a Saturday. I'm just gonna drink something nice because we have nice bottles.
Sure.
But I kind of feel bad about drinking them.
Well, like how often do you drink Stag?
Never. Like on Christmas.
I have not cracked open a Stag.
And it feels like people would just drink them. I need to be more like
when people come around who are interested in trying them, that's when we drink that stuff. But otherwise, I don't just drink 135 proof whiskeys.
I know, but that one's good.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Not the type of thing we touch a lot. So we didn't really think about that stuff. Yeah. It was really more the like, oh, I'm drinking this thing. I think it compares to this other thing. Kind of wish I had that thing along for the ride so that I could compare them. Because that's the joy that I get when I'm drinking alone. Because the real joy is drinking it with other people. When I'm at home in the evening, I'll have a couple pours to compare them against one another. It helps to train my palate, and it just gives me information that I didn't have about those brands before. That's what I enjoy about it. And when we were on the road for the first like month and a half, we had one bottle at a time. Yeah. And I was like, well, it's a little less fun.
It was a little different than when we did our last road trip where we went through Kentucky and Tennessee, and we were just spoiled for choice basically at that point.
Absolutely.
It got a little bit crazy. This one we basically went into it like we cannot do that again.
Yeah.
At some point, I was
brought
like,
home 77 bottles after 77
days.
I
was like,
we were on the road for 102 days this time.
Yeah. And so we were really good. Like, we're not buying anything else until we finish the whatever. And
Kathy with that Glen Scotia double cask for a unpeated. Is that what we're talking about? Unpeated scotches, Scotch whiskeys. That is one that I was drinking yesterday, actually. We're nearing the end on that bottle, so I call it a martyr bottle.
Wait,
it's gotta go.
The teal bottle? No.
The Glen Scotia.
Oh.
The big one.
Oh, I thought you were drinking the teal, the beautiful.
Oh, the Bruichladdich.
Where's that?
All the non-American whiskeys are over there. Yeah.
Shoot, because
un-American. They're not un-American. Let's not say that out loud. But is it Glen Glassaw is the most recent one that I bought? But
I actually love that.
What?
No, the
Glen Scotia.
Yeah, the Glen Scotia.
Yeah, Glen Scotia double cask is absolutely delicious. We got ours at duty free. There's something different about it, but I couldn't tell you.
No. I mean the teal bottle. What's the teal bottle?
Bruichladdich, the classic laddie.
Oh, sorry. The classic laddie.
Oh,
I wasn't anticipating I'd like it at all.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked it.
There's some people talking about this Trails End 10-year cask strength that we've been kicking around the idea of another single barrel of that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you repeat?
And Caitlin was on earlier, and she was like,
"You guys want to do that again?"
She's the best, and so we did when we were having when we met up was gonna say brunch, but that sounds so like, and we don't really do brunch, but but we were talking about the Trails N10 and how that really kicked off the single barrels for us, and people just fell in love with it.
Yeah,
it is so good.
That bottle, that single barrel sold out in 5 days from the time we put it on Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
That was absurd.
Which is Rob, good for us. Like, if it was like, oh, shoot, it took 5 days. That's actually really good for us.
Rob, we were talking about the Old Forester 1910. I would like Pendleton Rye to give it a go at higher proof. Everything that they do is I think 80 proof.
Wait, that was wasn't that part of the tournament? The rye?
Not
Pendleton.
No, Templeton.
Same but different.
Glen Scotia Victoriana. Glen Scotia Victoriana. That's very nice. Yeah. That's a good one. Semi-hoarding the rest of the bottle. Yeah, I'd like to do another pick of that if we can figure it out.
So and that takes me back to...
Hey, Chad's in the house. Good to see you, Chad.
Hey! That takes me back to bottles that we don't drink very often. It's like if we really... See, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. You really, really love it. You don't want it to be gone.
Yeah.
But you also can't get it to that point where it's like, now I have to drink it. Right? Like there's a sweet spot where you can just let it sit there for a while. Mm-hmm. And then there's a spot that it gets to that it's like, oof, now we drink it or it's done. Or we have to dump it, and nobody wants to do that.
We should gather in Hood River and do a group selection of it. Of Trails End.
Yeah. Like just
you don't seem convinced.
Like what? Just like local people that
anybody that wants to join us. I've seen a couple other channels do that. I'm like, that always seems like fun. Get a bunch of people in a room and pick something.
I'm really opinionated though.
That's true. Well, you have final say. You still
like I'm always like, yeah. But no. I'm not opinionated literally in anything else. Like, oh, let's kind of go with the flow. But for whatever reason with our picks, I'm like,
well, you have the palette, so it makes sense.
No. But like even like that's why I struggle sometimes like doing picks with like multiple channels, because you want everyone to be happy. And when we just pick like ourselves, or if there's just like one other person, like we're pretty much all in line. So
we have we have a bit of a house palette over here.
Yeah.
You have a bit of a nugget behind you.
Oh, she looks so grumpy.
She just woke up.
She just looks a little bit sleepy. Actually.
She's a good girl. Come on.
She hates being picked up.
Ah, crap. Mom's got me.
Oh, and okay, let's just say hi. Say
what
hi,
a good
everybody. Girl. Anyway, I feel we haven't done a live stream since we've been home, right?
Look at this comment right here. It's nicer than anything that my own family says to me.
Or me. See, you know, Phil always jokes like, "Oh, everyone comes because
they're not watching for me."
Yeah, it's like they're not watching the channel for me, and I was like, "You're crazy!" Like, of course they are. And see, Canadian Chris, he's here for you.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
Mavis is getting so big. She's such a big girl now. She's still fit, but she was the runt of the litter. No, we never expected her to grow so much. But
I thought she'd only be about 8 pounds or something total.
I think she's only like 8 to 9 pounds. She looks, but she's still got the tiniest nose I've ever seen, which is crazy for a cat.
Yeah, she's literally the best. Did I run a mile for every year today to celebrate? I did not. I was supposed to run today, and I just skipped it.
She did run a mile for every $1 you donated on Monday.
Yes, that's true. I was like, what? But I did 20 miles, so that I'll count that. That's great.
As long as Julie has final say and Mavis is happy, all is well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Completely agree. This whiskey, what do you think? Have you thought about it?
I drank it all.
I was going to say that Julie pour has dissipated.
I know. The problem with live streams is that I'm having a good time.
That's the problem.
And so I know that we're supposed to give tasting note. Maybe we're not supposed to, but I'm sure you're interested in like what you really think. And
some people have posted very angry comments after our live streams, like you didn't even talk about the whiskey.
Yeah,
and then the rest of you are kind of like, I'm kind of glad they didn't talk about that whiskey.
I know. Who cares? Well, that's the thing. Well, we always have conversations, and we try to have conversations with you guys, like if you're asking questions and whatnot, and respond. But we'll get done with the live stream, and I'm like, did we say anything about the whiskey we were
drank
drinking?
The whiskey. I know that.
And so then I feel bad because I was like, I'm sure people want to know. So tell me about the whiskey.
So the cherry fruit comes through.
Yeah.
The vanilla continues to come through. the rye is so spicy, but it's also so flavorful. A lot of times the rye, you just get a ton of spice.
Mm.
This 100 proof, I don't think I would want a cask strength version of this.
Correct.
This is a great proof point to drink it at. In fact, if I added a little water or an ice cube, maybe not an ice cube, but a little water to this, I still think it would have plenty of bite, plenty of flavor.
Yeah.
This is very, very tasty whiskey. And that's really why we're drinking it tonight. We were just looking like, what should we drink? We wanted to drink something good. And this is good. The Still Austin Bottled and Bond Rye 2024 spring release with the bunny on the front.
Cute.
It's very, very tasty. I'm going to look at the tasting notes, see if I got any of them right.
Well, so I want to double down on that. Did you say no? But I want to double down on the bottled and bondness of this.
Yeah.
So there's a really nice rye. I always try to think about things from the perspective. I love ryes, as you know. I'm obsessed with them. I like them really spicy.
You do.
And I like them when they're just easy
Super
going.
Sweet and balanced.
Yeah, sweet and balanced. And this to me feels sweet and balanced. There's just enough hint of rye. So you know you're drinking a rye when this.
I actually think the rye is pretty powerful on this.
Well, I mean, like the finish is like it kicks in and you're like rye.
Yeah.
Whereas the beginning it's just like it's kind of not simple, but you drink it. There's no huge proof point on it. So you're not like overwhelmed by heat. You're not overwhelmed by fruit flavor or this. Like it's just a really balanced drink. And then the rye comes in.
Yes.
And I just think it's really nice.
Yep, I agree completely.
Yeah.
Some of the tasting notes in here, and one of these we did mention when we were in the woods last weekend drinking this, wintergreen.
Yeah.
We said it was like a winter mint type of flavor. That's absolutely here.
I feel like I'm always like, it's a spearmint, but it's not. Spearmint can go so many different ways.
This is not spearmint because I do not like spearmint at all.
Yeah.
Sweet, soft oak, dark honey, black tea. I'm not getting into the tea so much, but the candied ginger for sure. Pecan, dried currant, and cream soda. That all follows. And you're never going to get those tasting notes from me because it's more than I'm just like oak, vanilla.
No, my brother-in-law is like, do you really get the flavors that you're saying? And I do. I try not to say anything that's not. And I actually don't read any reviews before our 5-sip series.
No, we're pretty far out of touch.
Yeah. But our 5-sip series is like true blind taste, right? Like we don't know what we're drinking. And I just want to say our next 5-sip comes out tomorrow.
Which one is it?
It's the one we're in Tombstone, Illinois. I was gonna say Illinois.
No.
Tombstone, Arizona.
Yeah.
And Phil just showed me last night because he does all the editing, and then I give my feedback or whatever, which is usually nothing.
I don't care for it, but I have no notes.
I laughed so hard at tomorrow's video that I watched it twice in a row, knowing that I'm not getting views on it, but watched it twice in a row just because I was having lunch and I thought there's nothing better to watch, so that I watch it. So
there's nothing better to watch. The Bourbon Van. There's nothing better to watch.
You got nothing else to do. Watch our video. But anyway, so tomorrow's 5-sip I think is funny for not the reasons you're going to think that it's funny.
I don't know. Maybe the same reasons.
Yeah.
Katie says she feels like she's in our living room visiting and drinking. Actually, if we rotated this computer, it's exactly
you
where
would be in our living room visiting and drinking.
The house isn't much bigger than the van, ultimately. It's about the same.
No, it is, though. So our van's the smaller, like whenever I talk about vans with people that I work with, they always think that we're in a Sprinter or something, right?
They think we're in a great big,
like
really,
a 178, which is still
fancy,
tiny, small, van. Right? But we're not. We're in like one of the shorter,
cheaper.
Well, definitely cheaper, but we're in a Ram, and it's the shortest one because at the time they didn't even have. So it's the 136, and then they built the 159 and they built the 170 something or other. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
So we're pretty compact, and Phil and I are not small individuals.
I am not compact.
Yeah.
As it turns out.
And so I had multiple conversations. People are always like, "Oh, you're out in your Sprinter," and I was like, "Nah, we're not out in our Sprinter because that has a certain different aura about it." And then people always think like, "Oh, you must be in this large thing," but we don't even have room for a bathroom. Like there's no. I mean, we have a bathroom in there.
Well, we have a toilet on wheels.
Yeah,
which is a genius thing to have in there.
Yeah, and my mom.
Very proud of it.
So my mom, I was talking to her when we got home. She goes, "I just don't understand. Like, She doesn't camp. She doesn't want to, she's a beach girl.
Your mom's not a camper? I wouldn't have guessed.
She's a beach girl. And cottages, beds, sleeping in like real spots, air conditioning. Yeah. And she's like, I just don't get it. Like how you survived. And I was like, well, one, you have to like the person you're with.
Oh, what a compliment.
So I did tell her that. I was like, you have to want to be with the person, because if you're in like,
you all heard it. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to save it. And that is something I will keep on my phone for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Because there's many, if my parents were in the van, divorced after 50 years, that would have made them to get divorced.
They would have gotten in and gotten right back out, started signing papers.
Totally. It was 2 days in. But we got into such a like routine with the van, right? Like it's kind of,
life is simplified.
But it's kind of like, we know like, I'm going to get ready for this or brush my teeth or do this, right? Or, you're going to go here and I'm going to start making coffee. Like there was just a routine that happens that when we came home. I'm going to
stick my toe out and press the coffee button to make the coffee.
Coffee.
I'm really good
coffee
at that,
toe.
by the way. Coffee, the toe control that I've got, that I developed in the van, pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we got home, our house is really small, like not really small, but it's like under 1,000 square feet. And it felt like so much space just to have an extra room.
True.
And even Mavis was just like running around, meowing.
It made us feel like, oh man, we should have gotten her more hotel rooms while we were out.
No, but she was just meowing like, where are you guys at? Like she wasn't used to seeing us. Like you could tell like in her meow that she was like, Mom, I'm over here. Like she was lost a bit. Yeah.
She was a little bit lost.
But she was also a lot happier, I think, which makes me kind of sad.
I don't know. I think she really enjoyed. She seemed to embrace every time we took her out on a leash. Like, where is this place? She's an explorer. She seemed to enjoy it. If we had any indication that she was unhappy, we wouldn't have kept going. But she seemed.
But since she's been home, she's like top of the cabinets, running around.
Yeah, no, she's
springs everywhere.
She's destroyed the place.
She's destroyed the house. Yes, exactly.
The Bourbon C-Class RV. We have been looking for something that's just a touch larger, but we're still looking at B-Class stuff.
That's true, because you want to get a second cat.
Yeah.
Which I'm nervous about, because cats are finicky.
We're looking at B-Class, second-rate stuff.
Yeah. Can't afford any of that other stuff.
Jim, go enjoy your dinner and have fun with the Dodgers game.
Oh, Dodgers. Nice.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Dodgers, but I'm glad that Jim does.
That sounds
Cubs fan.
Resbobo says, happy birthday, Julie. Keep laughing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think she can help it. All right.
What is life if you're not laughing?
Final word.
T-shirts. What is life if you're not happy? If you're not laughing or happy?
Julie, comma, the
Julie,
bourbon van,
comma, who knows who that girl is,
comma, the day before her birthday.
True.
Yeah. All right. We would need to be specific with a T-shirt. People go crazy for.
All right. What do we got next?
Right. The next thing, I'm actually really, really excited for the next thing, and I'm probably more excited for this than anything else because of the name and because of who sent it to us.
Oh, I know what you're the Raconteur Rye. How'd you like that?
Wow.
It seems like something that's perfect because we have the Tombstone video coming out tomorrow, and Raconteur seems like something kind of old school.
Some Raconteurs.
And there's like an old timey hat on. Here, I'm going to show you.
Yes, doff your cap for a Raconteur Rye.
Yeah. A Raconteur.
Oh, Kurt is watching your Cubs over there.
Oh, nice. Kurt,
someday I'm going to release the footage of Julie the night that the Cubs won the World Series.
If we haven't talked about this yet, and Phil knows, somebody once asked me, I think I was just like so overwhelmed, and I kept jumping up and down. I said, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, what about the day you got married? I go, no, today is the best day of my life.
It's pretty obvious.
And they like looked at Phil and they were like, how do you feel about that? He's like,
I know where I stand.
I know what I signed up for. Yeah.
I know where I stand. It's fine. I want her to be happy, even though I'm a Sox fan.
Yeah.
I want her to be happy.
It was literally like
I had my moment in the sun in 2005. She got hers in 2016, was it?
Yeah.
And Chicago baseball probably will never win another one as long as we're alive, but we got ours.
Well, and I feel like I just talked about this the other day. I don't know if it was on Monday or last week that I had some sort of like I don't know, a weird flashback.
I drank this enormous pour.
I know, but I had this weird flashback about the day. Like I remember where we were at this bar, and for some reason I told you, I was thinking about how the Cubs were definitely going to lose, and then there was that rain delay.
Oh, you did talk that you brought this
and up. Then we like for the next hour was like drinking beers and like whatever, partying with people that were in the bar, and it was great. And then we didn't think it was going to go on, and then the game came on, and then they won. And I said, without that rain delay, they would not have won. Like I'm 100% sure that we would not have won if there wasn't the rain delay. But then also I had this like feeling of there was two people I wanted to call that day, and the bar's going crazy, and people. I had an old school jersey on because I got it like when I was like 15 or 14. Like my mom finally got.
We were living in Portland at the time, and the place was absolutely absurdly mad with Chicago Cubs fans.
Well, I think everyone just wanted to see him win.
Well.
Yeah. And I was wearing my old school jersey, and people kept asking me about it because I had been asking my mom since I was like 7 for a jersey. She finally gave me one when I was like 14 or something. And I remember they won, and I called 2 people. The first is my mom.
Yeah.
I should have called my grandma, but the first is my mom. She couldn't hear anything. We just screamed at each other. And the second was our friend JT. And
who likewise was screaming because he was out at the bar too.
And we couldn't hear. And I just remember being so excited and hung up. And Phil was just like sitting there like, I mean, I was excited too, but
it was crazy though, because in the bar, it was such a madhouse in the bar, but we went outside to get on our bikes to ride home. And there was nobody out and about. The city was empty because it was so late at night. It was like, well, okay, because of the rain delay.
But I also feel like that
God is a Cubs
if
fan.
You're like from New York and you win, or like Boston and you win all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have that feeling. So it's
a regular thing.
Yeah, when you only win every 105 years.
Yeah. Eric Gunderson says that he was a Braves fan. He was excited when they won in '95. I think I might still be able to.
Do you remember?
I think I might be able to list the starting rotation for that team because their pitching was so good.
Nice. I love that.
It was Tommy Glavine.
Okay.
John Schmaltz.
Oh, Schmaltz. Yeah.
Was Greg Maddux on the team at that point? Oh, shoot.
In the 90s, wasn't Greg? He could have been on the Cubs. It was a tricky time. The 90s were.
I can't remember.
The Cubs might have had Maddox.
Pretty sure David Justice was playing outfield at that point. Oh man,
I thought Justice was on
Nixon,
the Red
Otis
Sox.
Nixon out there.
Well, so you can't remember the starting lineup.
I'm working on it. I had the pitching rotation in my head for a minute there. I waited too long to break it out. Now it's gone. Fred McGriff, yeah, let's go.
I do feel like though there's like if you win all the time, then it's just like whatever we want. I mean, everyone's
Justice
excited.
was at first base that year because Fred McGriff didn't come along that year yet, right? He wasn't there in '95. Maddux, Glavine, Schmaltz, Avery. I think that might be right. Can you give me that piece of paper there? Let's talk about Raconteur Rye.
I forgot that we were going to do
Why don't you go ahead and pour those? And I'm going to tell you all about this. Our friend David Jennings, a.k.a. Rare Bird 101, the
one and only.
Say what it is, the expert on wild turkey. I dare say he knows more about wild turkey than the people at Wild Turkey knows about wild turkey. The Woodward Collective and David Jennings.
Am I allowed to smell this already?
Yeah, have at it. Because this is I think the nose on this might be the best part. I've been so excited to try this. The Woodward Collective and David Jennings, spirits author and founder of Rare Bird 101, proud to announce a bold collaboration, Raconteur Rye, small batch, barrel proof rye whiskey, available in limited quantities, May 10, 2024, $129.99 for a fifth of this. It's a combination of 3 unique Indiana distilled 95.5 rye whiskeys. We know what that means. Each aged a minimum of 7 years. Straight rye whiskey aged in new charred oak. Straight rye whiskey aged in a 48-month cured toasted oak barrel. And straight rye whiskey finished in a second fill Mizunara oak cask that previously held 16-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. In addition, the final blend spent a month in Mizunara to refine the marriage. Bottled uncut and unfiltered at 120.48 proof, Raconteur Rye offers a genuine straight-from-the-barrel sipping experience. I mean... He's obviously a writer, and it shows. So this is fantastic. So excited to check this out. We've been holding on to this sample since we got home, and the labels feature a 19th century inspired design by artist Ricky Frame, printed on a vintage 1957 letterpress at Valhalla Studios in Kansas City, Missouri. tastes like a step back in time and looks like it. And let's hold up the
With
bottle
the
there.
little tip of the cap.
That's the rack on tour there, as you see.
I do feel like it's very appropriate for the video we're releasing tomorrow.
Yes, 7 years, 120.48 proof is what you get here. I'm so excited for this. Thank you so much to David for sending this to us. Rare Bird 101. Honestly, his we are Patreons of his just for the last few months here. And I love when people talk about wild turkey on YouTube, on Whiskey Tube, because obviously people talk about it all the time. And he is the expert. So he will share those videos and then say, well, here's what I know about it.
A little rebuttal.
So it's a mini rebuttal.
Yeah.
Whether he agrees or not,
yeah. He
always has the most interesting information. I love, as a guy who loves to read and pursues that sort of knowledge, I'm a big fan. Wow.
Smells great.
Yeah.
Did you read off flavor notes on that?
I didn't see
I was just kind of okay. I was just making sure that I wasn't. I was like, wow, he said a lot of words there. But
yeah, there's a lot to it. Yeah, I hope I didn't put anybody to sleep with just reading to you. If you want to subscribe to the Bourbon Van Puts You to Sleep, we'll be starting that soon.
Rusty asking us what's for dinner is going to come up in the next 25 minutes. Not yet. We're not ready to kick off yet. So Rusty, hold back.
I was also going to ask. William Ferguson, great to see you.
Hair is looking great. Ooh. Yeah.
Also, unfortunately, it could explain so much about the Cubs. True. Edmund Davis Quinn in the house. Oh, wow.
I'm just going to look at that for a while.
The depth of flavor there, the brown sugar note that just kind of hangs. It's like stuck in there. It's not going anywhere. It's parked. So it's like a late 60s Lincoln, like a town car. It's so heavy. It's not going anywhere. Once it's parked, you're not moving it.
Yeah.
That's this.
So at where I said the Still Austin Rye was pretty easygoing. Didn't slam you in the face with rye. The rye is like the accompaniment at the end. So the finish is the rye.
You're not going to miss it, but it's not going to punch you in the face.
Yeah. So you're like, kind of takes you off guard, like,
it's going to caress you.
And then all of a sudden the rye comes in. This is full rye.
Yeah.
Rye spice.
Yeah. You won't confuse this.
Yeah.
Even the other one was 100% rye, and this one's 95.5.
Mm-hmm. Subtler. That's a hard word to say. Subtle.
More subtle.
Oh, do you not say subtler?
I don't like generally. Settler. I don't like the way that it hits my ears.
No, it doesn't sound right coming off the palate either. Subtler.
Right.
But I mean, it's definitely a word.
By the way, a thing we didn't talk about yet. I went to the dentist yesterday. They told me I was kind of ugly.
No. No, they didn't. One, you have perfect teeth, and so I feel like they're trying to tell you something.
Except for the one that's been the one right in front that was shattered in a hockey incident in 5th grade. That has been replaced. It was replaced that one time, and they were like, "You're gonna have to replace this every 5 years." Still there since 5th grade. So and they're like, "Don't you ever look in the mirror and think I should replace that?" And I was like, no, because otherwise I'm gonna have to replace it every 5 to 7 years if I replace it now.
In my head, I think if it was me, I would think I should replace that. But the financial side of me says, "Are you crazy? Why fix something that's not broken?"
Exactly. I said when you produce something that can do what this does, bring it.
So that's what my biggest complaint. I have a lot of complaints about the insurance industry, but my biggest complaint is that somehow eyes and teeth are not part of your body, and you need different insurance about it. Right. And
we just gained a bunch of supporters, but we are now being targeted by State Farm.
Yeah, but I get really upset because I have like literally the worst teeth in the not the worst teeth in the world, but like since I was a child, I feel like I've just been getting fillings after fillings and then new fillings to replace and then whatever, right? So every time I go to the dentist, it's just some madhouse. And Phil goes, and he doesn't go for like, I feel like he went for like,
there were
there was like 6
times
years
when I went 7 years.
Yeah. And then he goes and they're like, your teeth are perfect. And which is great.
You know what it is? And I think Kurt from SLB will back me up on this.
That Indiana water?
It's that good Northwest Indiana water. Yeah. It's very good water. Boyd Mason Lake in the house. Good to see you. Independent Joe, what is up? Our friend.
Hey.
Gold. Replace it with gold. Get some street cred.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do it, I'm going gold with a ruby inset.
No, that's not what's happening.
That's from my buddy Tony
Nope.
back in Gary, Indiana. He always thought it would look nice. He always suggested it.
But
it is not smaller than the rest. It's the bottom half of this tooth right here, and I'm not gonna lean in. I don't want to. You can see it enough in the videos.
So I was gonna say, my mom she's been in the dental field for whatever. She worked in there for 50 years or something like that.
Sure.
And every time I tell her, I was like, oh, they're telling me I have to do X, Y, and Z, and it's going to cost X, Y, and Z. And then she's like, they just want your teeth to look good. So which I feel like is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like not that they want you, but it's like, they're potentially picking on something that could be replaced, but she's like, do you really need that crown, or does it just not like look pretty and they want your mouth to look pretty? And I was like, I don't know. But for you, it really was that. They're like, there's literally nothing wrong with that, except that it's been in there since you were 15.
Right.
And they don't understand it and they can't replicate it. But why would you replace something that literally is like,
it ain't broke? Don't fix it. It could be prettier.
I made the joke yesterday that it's probably...
There's a lot of things about me that could be prettier.
But I made the joke last night that it's probably made of like, what's the thing we have on our house? Lead. It's probably made of lead and like This is my asbestos too. The asbestos, but it's in there and it's not going anywhere.
But they were like, do you not have I was like, I live in a van most of the time. What do I care about that tooth? And they're like, you don't have a mirror? Do you never look at yourself in the mirror? And I was like, ouch. And they're like, what about your wife? What about that? And I was like, she doesn't look at me. It's been years since she just looked at me and was like, huh, interesting. Like
the only time I really noticed,
and also not the best eyesight.
Worst eyes in the biz, probably.
Which is why this works.
But the only time you really notice it, which doesn't happen anymore, is when you're in some place that has black light, which actually did happen because we were in Roswell and we went to that black light thing.
One of my favorite things in the entire world is like cheap black light will make that tooth disappear.
Yeah, like the teeth all glow except for the fake one. And so then otherwise, whatever.
Think of Mavis.
Think of Mavis, right?
Yeah, Mavis is like, what's this RoboCop looking guy with just like bits and pieces hanging off of him, things that shouldn't be there.
Maybe that's why you always have like one wonky thing, like your hair's either really long or just trimming it up. Anyway.
If I fixed everything, you'd still find something.
Yeah.
Right?
You mean the dentist, not me.
Well, somebody would.
Yeah, Mavis.
They'd be like, she's
always judging. She's in the corner.
Well, the last time I went to the doctor, they were like, when did you break your nose? And I was like, I broke my nose?
Well, you kind of remember.
I knew,
that was flag football.
But nobody brought it up. Like, of course it was broken, but nobody brought it up. And it was 16 or 17 years later. And the guy was like,
weren't you like 15 or something?
No, I was like 22.
Oh.
He was like, don't you want that fixed? And I was like, maybe. Probably. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm not going to like re-break it for no reason.
Right.
So like if I break it again, let's fix it.
It's crooked. So that's why I sit on this side. So you can't see. If I looked at you straight on, you'd be like, is he still looking sideways?
You did say your singing voice changed though.
It did. Yeah.
You went from
being able to sing.
Being clear and like operatic to like grungy and 90s.
It comes straight out of my nose now.
Yeah. Your least favorite singing voice.
Yeah, so good.
Hey. You said kind of sound like Tom Petty there.
Oh, good. Then I nailed it.
Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah, I like him.
Are we talking about whiskey yet?
My one regret is we got invited
that I've got a crooked nose?
No, that we got invited to go to the Tom Petty concert in Seattle. And I was like, $350 for a ticket? That's insane. I'm not going to do that.
No, you sound like Petty.
Because we have to fly there too. So it was just for the ticket. And then like 3 days later, he died.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we should have gone.
Should have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
This whiskey. Okay. Again, I'm going to get back to it. Number one, it coats like crazy.
Is this a whiskey channel?
Sometimes.
Okay.
For brief moments. Brown sugar, vanilla, and finally, on a Mizunara finished whiskey, sandalwood. And I had to ask you what this was the other day because we were drinking a different Mizunara finished whiskey that I actually was not getting anything from. I wasn't a big fan of it. And I was like, what is sandalwood? What am I missing here?
And I said Sandalwood. I don't know what sandalwood is. I don't know if anyone really knows what sandalwood is, but it is like men's cologne.
I love when people confidently say like, "Oh, I'm getting sandalwood."
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not. There's no way.
It is.
Maybe they are.
It is what people always put for men's cologne. And candles. Candles is another thing that has like, this is so it's like the mint or the fruity ones or whatever. And then there's always like leather and sandalwood.
Yeah. There's a leather presence here that is fantastic.
And that's the only reason I know that, but I don't actually know it. If without any prompting you said what sandalwood, I'd be like, I don't know, wet wood on the beach. Right. That's what I would think sandalwood is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
but you said like it's in colognes and things.
It is colognes and
that's something like I kept thinking like, what would that actually taste like?
And it does have a little bit of that cologne,
but not in an offensive like, oh, I can't breathe. I'm breathing in somebody's nasty cologne sort of way. This is dynamite. This is great.
Men's cologne smells better than women's perfume.
Is that right?
I'm not like
I don't really wear it.
I wore
Curve in the 90s.
Well, I still like that.
Really?
My brother-in-law to this day still uses Abercrombie, that whatever that was.
Who, Glenn?
Yeah.
Does he really?
To this day.
Is that he's British.
Yeah, but he's also 50 years old. 50,
now we're
51.
calling people out for having birthdays.
Well, I mean, no. Anyway. Yes, no, this is not a whiskey channel.
Chad, you are in.
Chad. Oh.
He says it went from Julie's birthday celebration to a health fundraiser for Phil. Yeah, let's fix Phil. There's a lot. We're going to need more money. We're going to need. There's a lot to work on.
But I think when it comes to the dentist, you said that thing.
This is great comment. I don't.
But I think like the dentist people,
it
was two women in there, and he said like, I don't think she cares or whatever, and they started laughing, and I asked him like, did they laugh? And he said, yeah, they were laughing hysterically. Yeah,
they were like, this guy has no idea how people look at him. I was like, oh my goodness.
I don't know. We don't really care about that stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You ever go to a dentist's office and there's like two people.
I'm wearing a cat t-shirt with like laser. It's like an alien cat.
I love this shirt.
With laser beams who's like beaming up like the baby cats.
No, the cats are playing with the lasers.
Yeah. This is like a t-shirt for like 18-year-olds.
I bought that for you when we were like 35.
I know. I love it. It's my favorite. Yeah.
But like, you go to the dentist's office and they're talking about you like you're not there. And you're like, huh, am I invisible? I'm like, no, I'm just not.
Yeah. Did you guys give me the gas and I didn't actually fall asleep?
No, they're just like, he's just kind of a weird looking guy and we don't need to worry about his feelings.
Yeah, he's not going to write a review.
It didn't hurt that much.
Yeah. There's no reviews coming from you.
Yeah, like what am I going to write on Google? They hurt my feelings a little bit.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, then all the other comments are like, shut up.
Yeah, like you deserved it. Anyway.
I would.
What are we talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about taking a little bit of this. Nice.
Okay.
I bet you give me a second look.
Wait.
Yeah, there it is.
I was listening to a podcast while I was running yesterday with Jason Bateman. I very much like, and he said there's 3 things that an actor needs to be a true actor. If you can perfect 3 things, do you know what they are?
Who said this?
Jason Bateman. 80s icon.
Jason Bateman disappeared for like 30 years.
And then came back. And stronger than ever. He seems like a funny guy.
Well, he seems to have a handle on it now. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Sneezing. If you can sneeze on camera, which you feel like would be easy, but it's not.
No, that sounds terrible to
me. Yawning. Also, because there's a lot of movies.
I can do that because I'm bored most of the time.
But there's a lot of movies where you just like, wait, people just
you
like
talking
wake
about
up.
It's making me have to yawn. That was close. I almost yawned. I don't want to yawn on him. People are like, he's bored. Why are we here?
Why are we here? And we shouldn't be here. Oh, and the third one was the thing that this was about. Well, how did this start?
Somebody help us out. What is Julie talking about? Does anybody know the Jason Bateman, the 3 things that you're supposed to be able to do to be a good actor?
Shoot.
What's up, Bourbon Baller Lee? Good to see you. Teresa says that fierce is the cologne. Fierce.
For who?
I don't know.
Wait, where's the comment?
I just assumed you would know.
Put it up.
Eric wants to know pizza or tacos tonight. I'd like to know myself.
To be fair, we had tacos last night, but then we probably had pizza like 2 nights before.
You had pizza for lunch yesterday.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, so I ate both yesterday. Ooh, that's a problem.
Oh, the cologne that your brother-in-law wears. That's Fierce.
Oh no, it's. Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's called Fierce. I thought it was just like Abercrombie. It's like the OG.
The OG?
Like when you walk into that, you know how you walk into it? I don't even know if they have that store
I can't go into
anymore.
Abercrombie and Fitch
But
anymore.
it's like, it's an
I have to wear like an
overwhelming
ozone
smell
mask.
of whatever I think they just spray it on all the clothes. That's what he wears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaks me out a little bit.
I still can't remember what my point was about Jason Bateman. It had something to do with whiskey.
Really?
Probably not.
I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure he's like 20 years sober. Okay, what are your thoughts on this Raconteur rye? You love it, right?
Yeah, I do like it.
This is
I'm
ridiculous.
glad that we have like extra.
I want to say to David, Rare Bird 101, absolutely
Delicious.
outstanding. This is.
It tastes like a
We've
rye.
had a lot of 95.5 rye, a lot. This is dynamite. I hoped it was going to be good. I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't taste like all the other MGP stuff out there, and it doesn't. I'm happy to say that's delightful.
I will say, for flavor notes, there is a good
from.
oakiness. There's a good leather. There is baking spices in there, so that you do get a cinnamon, nutmeg.
Sure.
There's some licorice, like black licorice flavor in there. It's just really well balanced, so that's why I really like it. And it's really strong rye. So for me, I like a strong rye.
Yeah.
So that's, but not too much. Like I think it's got a really nice balance to it.
It is very well balanced. I'm just looking for where you can actually get this so that because I know it's in a different place. Here we go. It is at bourbonoutfitter.com. If you want to try this, if you want to buy this, bourbonoutfitter.com is where you can get the Rare Bird 101 Raconteur rye. That's outstanding.
Yep.
Again,
and you can say
pricey, but dynamite.
You can say the Bourbon Van recommended, and then they'll be like,
the Bourbon Van sent me.
Yeah, and they'll be like, who? And like,
yeah, right. It's fine. Just
like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. The smell when you walk in, it's fierce. I mean, you're putting a capital F on it, but it is fierce.
It is fierce, and it probably is fierce. Yeah. You know what I used to...
Andretzky, what's going on? Good to see you.
You know what I used to use? The last time that I actually worked, because I used to do a lot of lotions, like Bath and Body Works when I was in high school, probably college. And I don't do anything anymore, except for Jergens.
Yeah, little Jergens.
The hemp lotion, but Mavis hates it. She doesn't like it.
She does not like hemps, no.
Was Clinique. They did like, I think it was called Happy. It's very
Julie.
And it was I remember thinking, I think they still sell it actually. And that's 90s to now. Big seller. But that was the last time I wore a perfume. You don't like it. So I think I decided I'm good. As long as I don't stink.
You don't. Should I be wearing it?
No, we're good.
Oh, good.
Just keep showering, everybody.
Yeah. William Ferguson says he picked up the A. Overholt Monongahela mash today. One thing that I looked out for every day that we were on the road, there's a new Overholt rye that's more aged, I believe. Maybe there's a couple of different ones, but there's something new from Overholt. And we really, what was the one that we liked so much? The cask strength, the 114 Overholt. We really, really liked that one. And I was like, I would
this
like
is old Overholt, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's another one that's like really well aged, I believe. And I'm curious about that one, but we never found it in our travels. And we've covered every state in the West, never once saw it. So if you've gotten to try any of the old Overholts beyond the 114 and the bonded, let us know and let us know what you think.
Well, because I don't remember
10 year, yeah.
I don't remember specifically, but we had tried an Overholt in a lineup. Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking, this may be the worst thing that I've ever drank.
I think that was the 80 proof version.
Yeah, it was. I remember thinking, I'm no connoisseur, but this is bad. And then we had the old Overholt 114, and I love it. Like it was like a 360. I don't know what happened between that and that, but it was.
And it's only 4 years aged. The Overholt 114 is actually my favorite Jim Beam 114 product, and I say that as a guy who loves Old Grandad 114.
Right.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Bruce, you are in. Cheers. BT, good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the 10-year. Yeah, I was wondering if it was just readily available elsewhere, or if it's really hard to find.
Yeah.
Because it kind of made it sound like it was going to be everywhere, and I was like, oh, well, I'll find it somewhere. Never did.
Yeah. I was just cracking.
Oh, I thought you were trying to be like, we need to do something, but I didn't know.
No, I'm just cracking knuckles over
here. Just cracking knuckles. She's like, it's a warning. Order me some food.
It's a warning.
Soon. Get me some pizza.
Yeah. We probably should have had that lined up before so that we could be like 45 minutes from now.
Well, it was happy hour earlier. You could get 25% off, and I forgot to order it during happy hour. I was going to.
Every night.
I like a value.
Every day is half a day. Yeah. That's the one thing I picked up. So you probably were.
Every day is happy hour. The bourbon van.
I do like that, actually. Because for me, I'm like, oh, is it warm outside? Let's go sit in our rocking chairs, which are just camp chairs, but like a rocking camp chairs. They rock. The one thing I picked up from my mom, I didn't pick up a lot. My parents are very frugal. I don't know how that didn't.
It didn't trickle down.
I'm fairly frugal, but like with the whiskey collection behind us and the amount of like, I like to eat nice food. That's not frugal, right? Like I don't spend my money on like clothes, obviously, and like makeup, obviously, skin products or whatever.
And I don't spend it on teeth.
And you don't spend it on teeth, but we do like whiskey and food. Like those are our two expenditures that we.
Sure.
Yeah, but we
like whiskey and food.
She was a coupon lady. Like I remember going to JCPenney, Kohl's. I think it was Marshall Fields at the time, then Turner Mason, whatever. Like we always had the coupons, and to this day,
I will. Cold-blooded you are about that Marshall Fields to Macy's thing. You're really holding on to the past.
But to this day, I won't buy anything online without searching for a good like 15 to 20 minutes for coupons.
Right. Yeah.
And you just try every code. Every so often you'll want to win, and you'll get 20% off. It's like such a deal. That's the one thing that I got from my mom. She'll be so disappointed.
Was that helpful for you watching the channel?
I feel like if you still follow this channel at this point after 4 years.
Bruce says he's kind of new. And he also said to your Chanel, which I think is a commentary.
Chanel is what my aunt always.
On our perfume discussion we were just having.
Totally. That's the one thing. I have a
That's a beautiful comment.
I have
that's
a
perfect double entendre.
Aunt over there. They were like an echelon over here. She had the Chanel, whatever the perfume was that everyone always had. Chanel 101. I'm just saying
Chanel 101. I love that. That could be the new Bourbon Van fragrance. 101 by the Bourbon Van.
Oh, 101, but it's like all I can think of is Wild Turkey 101.
Imagine the idiotic commercials we could create with Mavis. Wild Turkey 101 and just Mavis.
It was like Chanel 5 or something.
That'd be great. Look for free shipping. Yeah, Diego's on it.
Yeah.
Never skimp on food or whiskey on Tresky. Nailed it.
Phil laughs at me because years ago we bought a new couch. Like our couch.
Canadian Chris is still waiting for Jason Bateman's advice, as am I. I am bated breath over here. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I really need to figure out what the third thing was, because the first two are like, oh, those are giveaways, and I'll save the punchline for the end, which is what you're supposed to do with jokes.
It was a joke? I thought he was being serious.
No, he was being serious,
but wow.
Oh, anyway.
TBV 101.
Anyway.
The new fragrance.
Fragrance by the Bourbon Van.
The new fragrance.
Fragrance by the Bourbon Van. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do it. I was laughing.
Put me in the advertisements with my grumpy tooth over here.
That's why we'd make a better podcast than a YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, I've got a face for radio for sure.
Oh, shoot.
Best pizza in Bend.
None. All of them suck.
I don't really care for any of them. Bend Pizza Kitchen, pretty good. They're putting in the effort.
So our friend Jared, they told us about a pizza place in Sun River, which is just a town over.
Who's Jared? We have a friend named Jared.
They live here. Anyway.
Oh no! You're talking about.
His name is Jared, right?
Yes.
I didn't make that up.
I know him by his Patreon name.
Oh, right.
Sorry.
So okay.
Proceed.
Okay, so they told us about a.
In the interest of privacy, I'm not going to declare that.
So they told us about a pizza place in Sun River that we needed to try that we still have not. A year later, have not tried.
Really?
Probably because I'm sure they don't deliver.
Well, when
to
do we
our
go
house,
to Sun River?
And we never go to Sun River. But I feel like that was probably the best of the best. I hate all the pizza here. I mean,
Really?
it's fine. It's mediocre. Too expensive.
But there's really.
It's not good.
It's
not Pete's Pizza.
I'm hesitant to say this. Yeah, Pete's Pizza in
Or
Chicago is great.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to say it, but there's really no such thing as bad pizza. That's
No,
a Vince
there
Vaughn
is.
quote, but that's pretty accurate.
I mean, like when you're eating Domino's, which we do.
Cake is like pizza.
You're
it's
like
bad,
eating
it's good.
Domino's
It's
thinking
cake or
like,
pizza.
this isn't good, but.
Why are you going after the big corporations today? We're going to be bankrupt by the morning. It's the second one.
I went after Blue Cross and Blue Shield with my insurance claim.
Yeah.
I don't have Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Who do I have?
Pacific Source.
Oh yeah, Pacific Source. Pacific Source.
When you,
eyes and teeth.
When you absolutely don't want insurance for the things that you actually need it for. Buddies and Sisters, Martoli's, Best Buy in Central Oregon. Okay, we'll check that out. Just bought your Del Bach pick today. Look at this. Wanted a Del Bach for 6 years now. Guess
Boom.
what? You hit the jackpot. That's a great bottle. We hope you love it as much as we do. What are we doing? Are we still on? Are we live? What's happening?
There's
Where am I?
60 people. That's like a really good day.
There's 60 of you watching this?
Crazy.
Fantastic.
We're not even talking about whiskey.
You people are fantastic. What a world we live in.
So there was, I don't want to drink the last one. I don't want to drink that one.
I don't even know what we were talking about.
Okay,
so I'm okay with that.
So let's pick a deal, like pick what you want.
How about this? Patreons, you have a list of every whiskey that we own. It's on our spreadsheet.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure for them.
Just pick one.
What if they don't have the link?
It's on our Patreon page. It's literally tagged at the top. Can't miss it. But that involves clicking and stuff. You don't have to do that. If you have a recommendation.
I'm going to use this drink.
You're live and I can't spelt. I love saying that. I spelt it wrong.
I spelt it.
It's misspelt.
What? So
Should we just pick something?
Yeah, before I'm kind of a lazy picker. So like if it's like in my purview,
that was part of our vows.
If
I remember.
if it's in my purview right here, I'm like, this works.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. What about a Michter's barrel strength rye? Doesn't that sound nice?
It does sound nice. I did say if I was going to pick anything.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Diego, Peerless Rye Bourbon sounds delicious. We
have no Peerless. Yeah.
We were going to go to the distillery when we were in Kentucky, but I think it was closed that day. It was a really weird time.
Hang on, Stacy. I think she nailed it here.
Oh, Fiddler. Oh, it's like the 1910, but a barrel strength.
Here's the thing you may not know about the Bourbon Band. When we select a barrel, we have the option. We always get one bottle. We have the option to get as many as we like.
I forgot it's right there.
We never take the option.
Of what?
When we get a single barrel. We never take the option of buying more. The only time we did that was with the Bull Run because it was a local pick and we could get our hands on it.
Yeah, yeah.
We always say we don't want to take them all. We want as many people as possible to enjoy these. So we only take the one. So that Fiddler is literally the one and only bottle of it that we've gotten. And I'm stoked for it because we never drink it. And now is a great opportunity to drink it. So thank you, Stacy. This is a fantastic
That's a great, because we, to Phil's point, and to a point earlier made, when we really like something we don't ever drink, and we only have one bottle, we never drink it. And that is this bottle. I mean, there's nothing gone. I'm going to get a new glass, by the way.
I just grabbed one. How did you not have one? Did you give me more glasses than you?
No, but I can't remember which.
You gave me more glasses than you.
No, I have one over here. I feel like I mixed and matched. I don't know.
You're just pouring from one glass into the next just because you can.
Yeah, probably. Here, I'm just going to do this one.
Thank you, William. You are in.
I'll move that forward because I know.
I'm just going to keep clicking things until things disappear.
Could
there we go.
Imagine if I just broke that. That'd be horrible.
What are you breaking?
I was moving the glasses so it looked good.
Russ is having the Fiddler right now. You just tried to uncork something that I uncorked already. This birthday stream is going about as well as I expected it to.
Well, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, pretty good.
Are you guys having a good time? Do you have any? Yeah. What are? Is there questions about the channel? What can we chat about?
Nobody wants
Because Phil and I
Julie has an infinity class.
Yeah, and I just drink it nightly, basically. Because Phil and I just like chat back and forth, and I think that you guys enjoy that. Well, some of you guys.
There's some people online.
Yeah, there's
Happy Fiddler Pour to you. Happy Fiddler Pour to you. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Marty called out this Connolly here.
Yeah, I love it. That's my bourbon.
We may have news. We may not have news about that in the very, very, very near future.
Won my tournament. It was the best thing.
Won the Advent tournament for Julie. Finished 3rd or 4th for me. We don't really.
Even if it wasn't part of the Advent tournament, I think it would have been my number 1 of last year.
Pretty good whiskey.
It was so good.
What is that? North Carolina? South Carolina? I'm trying to remember where that comes from. Don't tell me because I'm going to guess it.
Well, you can grab the bottle. And
I don't want to. I know. Bogue Sound Distillery.
Really?
I want to say it's South Carolina. I'm going to check. I'm going to look.
I was going to say North Carolina. It feels like a
Bogue, North Carolina. Oh,
North Carolina.
Good call.
Okay.
That's good whiskey.
But pretty good thing you got Boguestown, which
Bogue Sound.
Oh, I was going to say, like, everyone just adds town to everything, but
it's the sound a Bogue makes.
What?
Everybody's pouring the Fiddler with us. If you,
I love it.
Look, pour them if you got them, everybody.
It's a one. Look at the color.
These are 5 Sip Friday type vibes on a Thursday. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
I did go into the office specifically today to tell everybody that I will not be in the office tomorrow. And they're like, "Oh, are you doing anything fun for your birthday?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're going out for dinner."
They don't know.
Basically because that we were doing the live stream tonight.
Nobody that we work with, nobody at Julie's office, nobody that I work with knows we're the Bourbon Band. They have no idea.
Think about how many subscribers we'd have if I tell people.
Maybe
4 more.
Maybe we'd just be fired from our jobs.
Well, that is a distinct possibility.
You guys are terrible. You should feel bad about what you do, and I can't believe that you spend more time on the internet than we do.
Well, what was funny is that I had a good friend of mine.
Running in the Southwest is so fun as long as it's not super hot, by the way.
What was that question? Was that just a statement, or
just impressed with all the running in the Southwest?
Oh, thank you. So, to be honest,
hopefully it's inspiring. That was the main goal of that.
Yeah,
we're excited to share it because we have had several people tell us, like, "You got me running again." We love that. So if you're running again, tell us. We'd love to hear it. Email us thebourbonvan@gmail.com.
So to be honest, like the Southwest, like for the winter, I was thinking it's so terrible here. It's so cold. I don't want snow. We're going to go California, Arizona, New Mexico, and it's going to be hot. And it's not, but it's not cold either. Like, it's like that perfect temperature. Like, I could live between the 55 and the 85 degree temperatures. Like, that's my sweet spot right there.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it was.
When we 55 to 75.
Yeah. When we left Arizona, it was 90 plus, and I was like,
it was approaching 100 on the day we
drove
like, out.
It's April. What are you guys gonna do for the rest of the year?
Is Tucson just on fire right now? How are you there? How are you surviving?
No.
People in Tucson, are you okay?
I talked to my boss today.
Blink twice if you can't breathe in the fire of Tucson.
When I was on a Zoom call today, he was like, "Julie, it's so great to see you again," not in person, but via Zoom, and he very well tanned.
Of course.
Very happy, much happier because it snowed 4 times here last week.
Well, you'd have to be happy if you sleep in your pool because it's too hot to sleep in your house.
No, I think they got like top of the line air conditioning.
I just figured that he's got an inflatable and he just duct tapes himself to it.
But wouldn't you rather be sitting in the pool in like a cute little raft than 5 degrees snow and?
Well, sure, half the year.
Yeah. Well, that's all they.
It's going to be 175 degrees there next Wednesday, I bet. This is untenable.
I'd still do it.
Look at all the people. Like Kathy's getting a pour a Fiddler. Eric C's getting one. Taste and Sensibility. My boss just subscribed to my channel. Can you imagine your boss watching your channel? She'd be like,
"Well, so that was what I was going to say.
What are you talking about? You're fired."
I had a friend that quit, and we were really we worked together, but we were close. And I said, "I have to tell you a secret." Phil and I have this YouTube channel.
Who did you tell?
Amy.
Oh, your former employee.
Yeah, she quit.
Oh, okay,
and I said, I can tell you this now. We have a YouTube channel, and we have for like 40 years. I mean, it's not if you whatever. Nobody in my office drinks whiskey. Lame. And
Lame.
and so she was just like, oh my gosh. And then she said you're an influencer. I was like, ugh, no, we're not. We're just here to have fun.
We got a
and
message
meet
from
people
somebody
and have
today.
fun. Yeah, have friends.
We had a message from somebody today on Instagram that was like, we're looking for Instagram or for influencers for this thing. And it sounded kind of cool. We're going to be out of town. We're going to miss it anyways. But I was like, if they had said anything other than influencers, I might have been interested.
I influence you to drink more and have more smiles.
Right. We're
maybe travel.
We are
maybe
bad
more.
Influencers.
Yeah. And maybe travel. I think that's a good thing. Drink more whiskey, travel more, and smile more. That's my 3 key points of my life.
Now, if you're doing 2 of those things, the third one's going to follow, I suspect. Any 2 will generate.
Actually, yeah, any 2 will generate whatever the other one is.
2 will get you 3.
Bourbon van.
2 will get you 3.
Totally.
Tim and Terry drinks during this live show. It is a show. Good point. Michter's small batch. Was it the bourbon? Frey Ranch Rye. Old Forester 1910 and Angel's Envy Rye. We're still alive. We're still here. We still exist.
Oh, who, us?
Yeah. I thought maybe we had just drifted into the abyss at this point.
Well, I was just thinking as I was laughing so hard that sometimes if you internalize like what we're doing,
like
we're talking to you guys are talking back to us, it's a little bit mind-blowing.
Yeah. The future.
It's here.
Have you guys seen the internet yet? Have you been online? Have you been on?
It's kind of like our Patreon glasses for this year. Which,
if you're on Windows 95, click the giant E. Internet.
I know we have a few Patreons on right now. The glass delivery just got delivered to our house.
Oh, they look so cool.
The glasses are.
Should I go over there and grab
awesome.
one? Mavis is currently hiding out next to it. She's protecting the glass.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm excited about the glasses this year.
Yeah.
They were fun.
They look great.
We always do something ridiculous that.
Well, it's got to be something that ties into the videos.
Yeah.
How did you train her with the harness and leash? Actually, that took a little bit of training with Norman, our elderly cat. He was 16 when he passed, but we leash trained him. You leash trained him. I can't take credit for the last 3 or 4 years. And he got quite good at it. It's really just a matter of practice and finding the right size. Mavis is so tiny. We had to get one that's 3 sizes smaller than Norman.
Yeah. I do think that, there's cats that are probably suited for it and cats that aren't. So Norman would have 100%.
Come on, man.
Norman
or
would
down.
Yeah. Or down. Yes. Give us actually, yeah. Just do that in the comments. Don't do it on the video. Norman, I think, would have been, he didn't need to be leash trained because he wasn't interested in going outside. Like, he was old enough that he's like, I want to be in the house in the window, or I want to be in the van on the seat. Doors open, fine. I'm not going anywhere. She is so curious. And to be honest, I think she'd be okay if we didn't have her on a leash or a harness. Like, she's not interested in like exploring and like going and seeing other people.
Mm-hmm.
But for the leash training, I just kind of started it. She still, to this day, a year in, she hates. Every time I get it out, the
process of putting it on is not fun.
She gets excited, and then as soon as I go to put like the little head, like her head through the harness, she's like, she gets all grumpy about it, and I just kind of make her do it.
Nobody likes putting on a wetsuit, or a what's the vest, nobody likes that feeling of it against them, like constricting them. But as soon as it's on, she's like, I get to go outside. Yeah,
but she's so young that it'll be interesting to see how it plays out in the next few years.
Sure.
So right now she's very curious. I think she likes the security of it, but she doesn't. I would really love it if she would just sit down.
She stays close to us almost 100% of the time on the, even when she's on the leash, like she's nervous. She doesn't go too far because she's so small, and she knows. She
doesn't understand I was going to say aerodynamics, but just like,
if
I walk around a thing, I get hooked.
That's
and then she gets
like, that's every animal, right?
Yeah. She doesn't understand that kind of thing. So it'll be interesting. Norman, it was easier with Norman because he was so old and he wasn't interested. He just wanted to sit and look. Yeah. She wants to explore. So, and I'm nervous enough that
she does to some extent. When we were in Tucson, she crawled under the van and was like, I'm done. I'm in the shade.
Yeah. And she's run out of the van many times and then just like rolled around and looked at you.
She just runs to
like
the concrete and rolls on her back.
Yeah. And like, ha ha ha, look at what I did.
I'm naughty.
So I don't think she's gonna, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
she's
practice.
not the type to bolt.
Yeah, I think it's just, you have to try.
Bruce says he's in Arizona, and for summer, we stay in the AC. I don't blame you.
Summer is winter. Winter is summer.
Z-Man, cheers, chillaxing in the AC in Mesa, Arizona. Honestly, one of the biggest surprises for me, Mesa felt like a mini Chicago a lot of ways. There was a lot of good food there.
I want to say that I had told my boss, one of my bosses, oh dear.
How careful was she not to spill your water, though? Good girl.
Didn't spill the water, didn't knock over the whiskey, didn't run into the thing.
Yeah.
Sacrificed her body. So I will say that reason we went to Mesa was to go to this Cubs spring training game. Yep. We didn't know what to expect. Everyone was like, ugh. Like my boss was like, why would you stay there?
Yeah.
Found a hotel because we wanted to have Mavis in a good spot. And we had just a blast. Like, so there was a river trail there. Like it went around, I think it was a river or a lake, whatever.
Yeah, I forget what the name is for that body of water that they have there. But Tucson Town River, maybe
Not
they call
Tucson.
it. Oh no,
Mesa. It was like Lake something.
It was something town something.
Yeah. So that was really great.
I'm helping.
The restaurant, so we had the pizza, and I'm telling you, we've said this before on a live stream. Italian beef is something that I really, really, really love, and of all the food that I've ever eaten, is probably the thing that I'm most critical about, because everyone says they can do it, but no one can do it like Chicago.
Julie can judge hard,
I'm
but
like,
if you're making
really,
Italian beef, she can judge hard.
Like I'll get it in like various states and then be like, it's fine. But it's not
fine.
It's not the right one. And Mesa, Arizona is probably the closest I've ever, like, I remember thinking it came out.
Tempe Town Lake. There it is.
Oh, Tempe Town. Yeah.
Thank you, Z-Man.
It looked right. And then I ate it and it was like juicy. They had all the pepperoncinis and all that kind of stuff. It just looked right. And it was the most Chicago. And it makes sense because Cubs spring training is there. I think they have like a little like relationship
it's a little
or whatever.
Mini Chicago. I want to say that there is a ray of sunshine coming in as the sun is setting here. That is directly on this Bull Run pick, and it feels so appropriate. Yeah, there you go. You hear the chorus.
The bottle just like lifts up into the sky.
Give me it back. Yeah. No, it better not go anywhere. I like that one.
Anyway, I liked Mesa. Long story short, I liked Mesa.
I like it too. Hey, listen, people are starting to log off. We've been on for 2 hours, and I think that means it's time to pick a winner.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Why don't you tell me? I will turn on the audio here. I've done this like 100 times, and sometimes.
And we're not going. Right. Well, I obviously have a bunch, so we're gonna. But it is good. It's about 7 o'clock. Wow, 7 o'clock. We never go this long.
No, we don't really do anything. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna. You tell me how many people we have, and I will.
Oh shoot! Sorry.
Or how many entries we have, I suppose.
60, please.
60 entries. My goodness, you all are so generous. Thank you so much for contributing to this tonight. And somebody is about to win the Bourbon Van Whiskey Del Bach single barrel.
I'm so excited! I can't wait to share.
You know, we say it's hand selected, but let's be honest, it was tongue selected. We selected it with our mouths. Mouth selected doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, tongue selected. Yeah, that's right. Lips doesn't either.
By the way, I forgot to say a get well soon to our friend Bill, who had a tonsillectomy this week.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
Great.
Know.
Thankfully, he has a couple of cats.
They
help with healing.
Circling back to dentists, they asked if I still had my tonsils.
What are we doing? We are completely.
Yeah. Anyway, go for it.
We are off again. How many? 64?
60, please.
60.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a random number between 1 and 6. Nope.
You can't say 60.
Give me a random number between 1 and 60.
It's 2.
Wow. 2. That's
okay.
crazy.
Thank you, Siri. Number 2.
It is Kurt the Cat.
Kurt the Cat.
Kurt the Cat. Congratulations.
That's a huge congratulations to our friend Kurt the Cat. You have won the whiskey
Websky.
All these Julie pours are catching up to me. Whiskey Delbach single barrel, the latest single barrel from the bourbon van. And
your favorite channel of all time, of course.
Honestly, you probably don't even watch anybody else.
Yeah.
I assume that this is the only channel
The
we
only channel
focus
you
on,
watch.
and we don't blame you. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us tonight and played along. We are so proud of this single barrel. We hope that those of you who've gotten it are in love with it. And if it's your first time trying a mesquite smoked whiskey, we hope it hits your palate the same way that it hit ours. We thought it was a, what do you say? An explosion of flavor.
I love it. And there are bottles available. So, I mean, obviously, if you're looking to try something new.
When we say bottles available, there were 30, I believe, at the beginning of the night. There's a lot less now. So if you're thinking about getting one, definitely get one. There's no limit on these. Order them up. And by the way, it's flat rate shipping. So the more you get, the more affordable it is to get them.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't have to be ours. You could just bounce around and see what else they have to
absolutely
offer.
Or if you want 6 or 7 of ours, go ahead. No big deal.
True. You're like the true marketer, and I'm like the marketer that's like, meh.
Nobody's listening to the things that I'm actually saying, though, because it's like, it feels ridiculous. And they're right. Hot damn, I've never won a whiskey. Is it like chicken? This is what happens when a cat wins an award.
I know. Yeah, for sure. Taste explosion.
Yes. Thanks again, everybody. This was fantastic.
Yeah.
How was your birthday stream? Was it everything you thought?
Are you trying to log off? I thought we were gonna keep going.
Goodness, are we gonna keep going?
Well, I still have to finish my whiskey.
We're not logging off then.
Oh, my birthday is going fantastic. By the way,
so far so good.
Off. Yeah,
I'm gonna hang out. Do you guys want us to hang out? We'll hang out. They're like, I thought they were ending it. I want to go. I want to watch.
I want to go
Dexter.
See Jamie. Dexter.
Yeah, we've never seen that show.
We haven't.
Dexter's Laboratory. We will watch that.
Do you know how we never talk about whiskey when we have live streams?
I've noticed.
Rarely, or not never, but rarely talk about whiskey.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Netflix show that we just finished up? That was awesome. And if you were a kid of the 90s, you should totally watch it.
We don't have Netflix.
Not on Netflix. Disney Plus.
Oh my goodness. X-Men 97.
Yeah.
If you're a Marvel fan, it's just if you grew up in the 90s reading comics like I did, my goodness. The X-Men 97 was the best thing Marvel's done in like 5 years.
I've never seen you so happy.
Really?
Like, you know how when the Cubs won the World Series and I was so happy?
Yeah.
Watching you watch this show, you had like...
You looked at me?
But
I'll tell my dentist.
You had such joy, like literally such joy. Like your head was spinning because I could see you
revisiting the comics from my childhood.
All of the comics from your childhood, going like, oh my gosh, they're doing this storyline. Oh my gosh, they're doing this. Total nerd alert. This comic, like whatever. It was so funny, and I know nothing. So you're like, you get to at the end of every episode, you'd be like, so, and then XYZ happened.
Well, I gotta explain
this is really exciting because this, and this, and I'm like, it's cool. I'm jazzed. I love it.
Take that, stupid dentist.
My wife said yes.
She does look
look at me once every year.
And she doesn't notice my teeth because she has terrible eyesight.
I do have terrible eyesight.
Eric Gunderson says Northwest Bourbon is streaming for 2+ hours. He's in the same time zone as us. 2 hours from now, I'm going to be shutting it down.
So, do you know?
I'm going to be heading to bed.
When we moved from Chicago to Oregon, we were on a time frame where you didn't start doing anything until 8 p.m.
Sure.
And then if you made it to 2, that's when things really started kicking, right? Like you were just like, woo, we're doing stuff. And we were younger and it was fine. And then I think like as we, right before we left, we're like, we're getting pretty tired.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we moved to Portland.
It rejuvenated us.
Yeah. And then now where we live, but we moved to Oregon and literally people go to bed at 10. I mean, like restaurants close at 9 p.m.
Rob said he's going to bed right now. It's 7:03.
9 p.m., 10 p.m. And I was like, this is our town. Like these people eat at 5. I'm all on with the early bird special. And then they go to bed at like 9 and 10. I was like,
Whiskey knows. Marty says that he already called in sick tomorrow. So we better give him a good time.
Good point. Yeah. I still have a healthy pourer.
That's a Julie pour still. I want to say this about I'm a college football fanatic.
Yes.
I know all the mascots.
Yeah.
I just love it. I don't care. It almost doesn't matter to me who wins. I want to see a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see absurd things happen, which the most absurd things happen in college football. I'm a huge fan of college football.
Yeah.
The best thing about moving to the West Coast is that
you get to watch Hawaii.
All the other games would end, and at 10 o'clock or 10:30 or 11 o'clock sometimes, Hawaii comes on.
Yeah.
And they were in the Pac-12, which is no more. I don't know who they're playing now.
Yeah.
But that was the coolest thing, that I could stay up till like 1 a.m. on a Saturday night watching college football.
And now it's 10.
It was so cool. I just loved it.
Also,
Bruce has been in Oregon since 79.
Nice.
Or moved to Oregon. Are you still here?
But also the Super Bowl. Remember when we were kids, you'd miss the first half of it. And then now it's like, it's over. It starts at 3 or 3:30. And by like 8, you're like, everyone's going home and I get to, clean up and go to bed.
Andretzky's been a Ducks season ticket holder for 32 years. Bruce lived in Newburgh, which I'm a big fan of. I actually really like Newburgh.
Man, I wish I could have got Bruce, property in Newburgh.
You're in Arizona now, is that right? I think I'm getting my names mixed up because it's been a long night, but that's awesome.
Nice. 32 years.
Oregon is a fun football state to
I've
live
never
in,
been to
but there's no professional
Oregon
team here, and it doesn't matter. It's still a
I've
fun football
never been to an
state.
Oregon. Yeah, I know. Which is funny because like the Oregon in general keeps wanting to either get hockey or baseball.
Yeah.
And it's actually it would be a good place. The weather is temperate.
Yep.
It doesn't get too hot. It doesn't get too cold. So whether you're hockey or you're baseball, I feel like it's a really great place for sports, even football. And they're going to the moneymakers up in Seattle and Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's too bad because I think Oregon would be a great place for a hockey team. It would
we
definitely
need
be a great place for a baseball team.
People don't really care about
but we've got some
here, though.
We've got some fun
Except
minor
for
league teams here though. The
college.
Portland Winterhawks, until a couple of years ago, they had the same jerseys, the same sweaters as the Chicago Blackhawks. And that story goes back to the 30s, actually. Yeah. Really interesting how they wound up wearing those. Now they have a new logo. The logo looks great.
Yeah.
But there was something cool about moving from Chicago to Oregon and still being able to watch hockey where everybody was wearing Blackhawks uniforms.
Good night, Stacey. Sleep well. Cheers. Thank you for the birthday wishes.
You know what you should do? Shut off the TV, but put us on in your ears. Put it on your phone. Just listen to us. And we'll talk quieter and you'll fall asleep so nice.
It's like the Calm app, the meditation app.
Right.
Meditation with the Bourbon Van. Nobody's ever said that I've been a calming presence.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Van. Imagine waves on a shore.
Whiskey in a glass.
And you lying on a beach. Oh no, here comes the tide. You should have gone in by now.
Mavis has squawked. The birds are crowing.
We are awesome at this.
Your bedtime is ruined. Drink more whiskey.
Tomorrow's not going to be great already. Are we helping?
Oh my God, I'm crying.
I love that I'm actually getting the sunset across me right now. Feels like we're outside and we're not.
So we went from, I said this earlier, we got home. The next week.
The crows are burning.
The crows are burning.
Yes. Thank you, Chuck. Thanks for joining us. Everybody's like, I'm checking out because they're getting weirder by the second.
What is that?
We're not talking about whiskey. ASW Fiddler.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it? How much you're enjoying it?
Well, not really, because nobody can buy it. I mean, you can buy the Fiddler, but it's not this one.
I will say their single barrels are excellent. All the ones that we tried were excellent. The one that we selected was the best they've ever produced. Mm-hmm. I've only tried 3 of them. I can't really say that, but it was good.
Are you ready to cash in?
I think it's time. I want pizza and I want it now.
Perfect. So this was a great night. I had a great time.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading about the Rangers scoring tonight. I was trying to keep up with the hockey that's going on out there. And I was distracted, but now I'm here for you and your birthday.
I'm actually surprised that we haven't been paying more attention to hockey because when we were in the van, we watched more hockey than anything.
Well, we were watching the Blackhawks tank hoping that maybe they would get that Celebrini for the draft pick.
Did they get are they the worst team in the league? Oh.
Yeah. But second pick is still going to be a good pick.
Second's the second first.
Kirk the Cat, he's like, I won, and even I'm out of here. This is enough. Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
The Metolius River's beautiful. Love it too.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. We had delicious whiskey pours. It's been a while since we've done a live stream in the tasting station, which is Phil's name for this area. I want to double down on saying, don't sleep on tomorrow's 5-Sip Friday video. Even if you don't care about 5 sips, it's funny. And it's only like 8 minutes of your time.
Comment on tomorrow's video. I want to know, what is the worst whiskey you've ever had?
Yeah, you'll see what's going on. There are moments where when I was reviewing before it went live, it's not live yet, but before we published it, that I was like, ugh, my face is not really great. And then I would literally say the thing that I was thinking in the video, and I go, this is a great video.
There you go.
Whether or not like you agree with us or not, I don't know.
What more do you want? Tomorrow it's 5-Sip Friday. Yeah. We can't wait. If you didn't get this Whiskey Del Box single barrel, you definitely should.
You should. You heard Congratulations, Kurt the Cat.
Congrats to Kurt the Cat. And from wherever we are.
Oh, yeah. To wherever you are.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us tonight. Love you guys.
Yeah.